Hey folks, it's Kodey Stoffer with Playmakers Corner, here to tell you about Code Red Coaching. Competing in athletics means you've lifted the weights, you've watched film, and you've got the passion. Problem is, that's what everyone else in the state has done. Perfect your game by honing in on your mental performance with Code Red Coaching. Whether you are a team or an individual, Code Red Coaching has the tools to create mentally solid habits and set up you or your team for success. Find Code Red Coaching at coderedcoaching.com or call 720-979-1914 to learn more today. That's coderedcoaching.com or 720-979-1914 today. Now back to the show. And we are back here, folks, talking about another week of girls flag football here in Colorado. Hashtag sanctioned CO flag football here as we head into the second year of state ran by the Broncos. And after this round, we are going to be staying tuned with CHSAA on sanctioning this program that had over 70 total teams. So just want to talk about a great turnout that this entire state has had as it has made its way down south into the Springs, and it is climbing its way up north and is just completely infiltrated the Denver metro area. So, I think that it's just awesome to see girls flag football where it is at right now and, talk about the state finals that were hosted at the Pat Bolin Fieldhouse here from the Denver Broncos down there in, I think it's technically Inglewood, but they had 3 fields set up, 2 inside, 1 outside here. So for this recap, I myself, Kodey Stoffer, had field 1, and then Gino and Gideon had field 3, and Coach V had field 2. But with Gideon on video, Gino was going to go ahead and take notes. So we will be hearing from Gino, Coach V, and myself today. And then as we go through each round, you're going to hear how the games went, some of the notable players, as we were able to get rosters for the most part. And then, we're going to kind of talk about, each round and what happened and what it means for Colorado heading forward, as well as just our takeaways at the very end of the episode. So I'm very excited to talk about this episode. I have 3 games in round 1 here that I'm going to jump into before I pass the mic off to Coach V and Gino in this show running biz. So look for those timestamps on round 1 for your games, but for round 2, 3, and 4, well, we can't spoil it. So just stay tuned for all of those. And just stick around because it was an exciting day of flag football. And the very first game that we're going to talk about here is Valor Christian versus Regis Jesuit here in round 1. And let's go ahead and get into it. I'm not sure exactly what seeds these teams were, but, it made for an entertaining game, as it always is with these two teams. And basically any sport, it's always a very dramatic, holy war kind of affair here. So let's go ahead and start off with Valor starting with the ball here. They have a run left for a very short gain. And then on the very next play, they have a motion right, play action, throw left, hook and ladder for a few. Before on third down here, they run into some issues with a pass that is batted down by Regis, number 9, listed on the roster as Ariel Sandoval Reed here with a nice pass breakup. But on the very next play here, Valor down but not out. They do a play action that fools me behind the camera. Go ahead and check out our Tik Tok for all of the highlights from these games, by the way, at Playmakers Corner. But this play action fools me, and the quarterback here for Valor, number 12, Claire Pfaff, I want to say is how you say that, dials up a deep bomb to number 7, Quincy Warburton here, who goes about 3/4 of the field for a score and puts Valor up 6-0 here and has a conversion that is also successful. Now, Regis here with the ball looking to respond. They have a pass right to number 4 on this squad, who is listed on the roster as Catherine Ure, I want to say. Apologies if I'm saying any of these names wrong. But anyways, dial up a pass to 4 here. And then there's crossing routes that they complete to on back-to-back plays that picks up a few yards, and the second one even gets a first down. They then roll right and pass right to about the 1 yard line. And then on the very next play, Regis, they roll right and they pass back to number 46 on the squad, Riley Wells, for the score. Now, Valor with the ball, they have a pass to 9 to start this drive. 9 listed on the Valor on the roster as Allison LaBarbera here. And that's a decent gain, but a flag guard unfortunately pushes it back. Now, after an incompletion on second down with a bobble and then a third down drop, it sets up a very long conversion. Regis, they take out a linebacker and add another safety, but it won't matter as number 9, once again, Ariel, getting the sack here for Regis, forcing the turnover on downs and setting up the Raiders. Now, Regis, they have a pass right once again to number 4 for a few yards. And then number 32 for Valor Christian here comes up big on second down with a pass deflection. That's Reese Beiser here, who has the pass deflection that's almost intercepted. Now, on the next play, Regis throws left and they cut inside, setting up about a 4th and 8 when they toss a deep pass right that is tipped, but it lands in the hands of number 4 for Regis, and Catherine waltzes into the end zone here on a crazy tipped pass play touchdown, and the conversion is also good on this drive. Now, Valor, they have a pass right that picks up about 7 yards, and then number 4 just can't stop making plays here as she gets an interception for Regis and sets them up on the 14-yard line going in. Now, it looks like there's going to be some stalling here as they have a pass right that's incomplete here for Regis, and it's really weird because there's different quarterbacks for basically each drive between number 16 and number 30. Number 30 is in on this drive, and Regis follows that up with a run up the middle that sets up about 3rd and 7. Quarterback keeps it herself, but a flag would push back the gain anyway and make it 3rd and 14. But it doesn't matter as the Raiders pass over the middle to the 1 and then take a timeout with 1:40 left in the half and immediately follow that up with another quick pass over the middle to number 4, Catherine, who has a receiving touchdown. The conversion is broken up by the Eagles, but Valor here would not get anything really done here because after taking a timeout, they would throw an interception here. Number 16 for Regis, who's listed as, I want to say, Nala Barnes here, gets the interception and sets up Regis inside the 10-yard line where they throw on a crosser right to number 38, Delaney Sitzman here, and score again. A PAT is thrown left to 46, Riley Wells, and that is going to be good and take us into halftime. Regis with a commanding 26-7 lead at halftime here. And the bad news for the Eagles is that the Raiders will have the ball to start here in the second half. And so they have number 30 in at quarterback here. There's an incomplete pass and then a handoff left to 46 for a nice gain. But after an incompletion, it sets up 4th and 10. And they throw the ball here on 4th down, obviously with 10 yards to go. But unfortunately, they are plagued by horrible luck here or a great play by Valor, either way that you look at it. Number 24, Abby Brown here gets a pick 6 for the Eagles here. And after the PAT is no good, it is 26-13. Now, obviously, Regis still has a couple of scores between them and Valor, so no need to panic here. And they come out with a run right here, trying to just establish some balance on offense, and then a pass over the middle to number 27 here, listed on this roster as Katie Lugenbill. Sorry, once again. But with an incompletion, it sets up a long play here. But the quarterback, number 16 at this time, Nala, keeps right and picks up a ton of yards for a first down and gets into the 13-yard line heading in. Now, there's play left for very little gain and then a pass right to 15 here, who gets them inside the 5. That's Matty Barnes with the reception. And here on 4th and 4, following an incompletion, they go and pass the ball, and it is intercepted by number 8 of Valor. However, before the Eagles can get their hopes up off of the play made by their teammate Macy Vatter here, unfortunately, the Eagles do commit a roughing the passer penalty and gives Regis another chance here in the red zone. And so with another attempt in the red zone, they pass and it is incomplete. So no change in the result here as Regis turns over on downs anyway. And Valor with a great goal line stand and their backs against the wall to stay in the game here. The Eagles then call a hook and ladder right, and then a run right, and then a pass over the middle to number 1, sets up 4th down and manageable. That's Bella Spence on the reception. Wait, doesn't Cash wear number 1? Anyways, sorry, getting a little distracted here, but there is a dump off that does pick up a 1st down. They call another hook and ladder, this time to the left, and then a play action middle slant sets up 3rd and 8 till the pylon here. And then they call another pass here and dial up Bella Spence, who scores the touchdown here and puts Valor within only a score of Regis here after an awkward shovel to 25 does convert, 25 being Madison Roselle. Now, Regis, they have 16 in at quarterback. There's an incomplete pass, and Valor takes a timeout here to, keep this game within striking distance. There's another pass from number 16, that's Nala, this time going to number 15 of Regis, listed as Matty Barnes here, and that will bring us to the 2-minute warning. Now, 40 for Valor has a huge tackle for loss or sack. I want to say it looked like a run play, but, it's always it didn't look like it was going to be intended to be a pass, and that's Brooklyn Marchiondo here with the sack here, setting up 4th and long. And then Valor here gets another interception. Macy Vatter, this one counts this time, and that sets them up inside of midfield. They call 2 hook and ladders in a row with the second one scoring. That is number 9, Savannah Kahn here, who scores that touchdown, and the conversion is no good, and that makes it tied at 26. Regis, they come out and call a hook and ladder themselves, but after pressure from 40 on Valor forcing an incompletion, they toss left to 46 on 3rd down, and that will take us through the end of regulation. In overtime, I believe it's each team has 2 plays to score or something like that. And so Regis starts off, and Valor forces 2 pretty quick incompletions and has the ball themselves here. And it is incomplete on 1st down here. So on 2nd and their 2nd attempt to get a score here, Valor snap the ball, and they pass over the middle. And then that is then lateraled to number 7, Quincy Warburton, who bobbles the ball, but eventually gets control and extends, and by the nose of the football here, gets into the end zone and ends this game. Valor with a walk-off touchdown here in overtime to win 32-26. And I just want to say, what a rally here by Valor, who was down 26-7 and shuts out Regis here in the second half behind great defense, good pass rushing, and great coverage downfield. And what a way to persevere for these troops that ripped off a ton of big plays, but also put together meticulous drives and capitalized off of opportunities in order to get back into this ball game where they basically had to play a perfect second half. And they basically do on both sides of the ball to then force overtime. And then in overtime, that defense is just red hot and keeps Regis out of the end zone here. And Valor getting into the end zone will advance to round 2. Now, on to my next round 1 game here. I have a couple more of these. This next one was Chatfield V1, I'm assuming for their varsity team here, versus Green Mountain. And I'm actually going to take a play out of Coach V's book here. before you can even hear him, actually. And I'm going to go ahead and read the roster and corresponding numbers for Green Mountain as well as Chatfield, and then maybe reference it every once in a while. But number 1 for Green Mountain here is Canton Pearson. 2 is Rome Viani. 4 is Reagan Dadgley. 5 is Julia Schaefer. 6 is Kara Harris, who I believe was listed out for this tournament. Number 7 was Rose Olson. Number 8 was Chloe Verbeek. 9 was Savannah Premack. 10 is Grace Malone. 11, Ella Cockrum. 12, Peyton Bennett. 13, Katrina Loring. 14, Brooklyn Navis. 15, Audrea Hildebrand. 16, Carly Cockrum. 17, Lucy Policaro. 18, Sasha Kalani. 19, Avery Friedman. 20, Kaya Cooper. 22, Emmy Hyrup. 23, Clara Coyle. 24, Cam Sears. 25, Taylor Ellington. And then on the Chatfield side of things, almost just missed it there. We have Abigail Nichols at 48, Ada Lubke at 4, Alexis McClellan 12, Audrey Hubble 11, Ava Wood 15, Ayla Hagan 44, Bella Concilio 24, Caitlin Dennis 8, Desi McGee 16, Elena Alvarez 10, Ella Wood 21, Emma Russum 94, Georgia Gilmore number 5, Jaden Lodice 3, Kaylin Mant 30, Madeline Hindez 14, Marissa Blakemore 6, Melanie Archuleta 1, Ryan Taylor 65. Listed as out for this tournament was Taryn Binion, even though I feel like I saw her. Maybe I'm thinking of regional. No. It felt like she was there. Maybe she just didn't get in. It's listed as not playing, but and then number 7, Tia Miskew. So to any of those players whose names I probably just butchered up and down the aisle there, please forgive me and feel free to interact with the episode and let us know how to say that for next time. And that's only if I remember. But, the important thing is that these are all pioneers here in Colorado sports history, Colorado high school sports history, and yeah, especially in regards to this tournament. So let's go ahead and jump into the action here. And Chatfield is going to go ahead and start out with the ball here. So on this opening drive, they do have a run up the middle that's modest before a toss right to 8 picks up some, but there's a flag on the play. And both these predate a pass right to number 6. As a reminder, Marissa Blakemore here, who evades a few flagpoles and scores on a big touchdown play. The conversion is no good, but Chatfield, the defending state champs, off to a lightning quick start here in the first half. Now for Green Mountain, they do hand it off here to number 7 for this squad, listed as Rose Olson. However, there is a flag on the play, and what was once a first down now pushes it back to their own 12-yard line. After a few passes and handoffs that set up about 4th and 5 or 6, they pass it one more time, and that pass is incomplete, forcing a turnover on downs. Now, back to Chatfield here. They start off with a toss to number 4 for this squad, who's senior Ada Lubke, I want to say. And that picks up a chunk gain before a pass over the middle to number 11, senior Audrey Hubble, one of the best receivers I saw that day, honestly, picks up a first down, and she had a dominant game here. They have another toss right before a throw left to 14 puts them inside the red zone. That's Madeline Hindez here. And after a toss goes left to the quarterback here, who is Ada Lubke, who played a very phenomenal game, by the way, she doubles back right and finds number 14 in the end zone for the score. So after getting inside the red zone, she goes ahead and scores the touchdown anyway. And on the conversion, they toss right to the quarterback, who just keeps it herself and scores. So conversion good, touchdown good. Green Mountain with the ball back here. They have a pass over the middle that gains about 6 yards and another pass this time for about 10 yards. They pass it right to number 8, who picks up a first down. And then on the next play, they pass right to 15 here before 30 of Chatfield here. That's Kalen Mant gets a pass break or gets a flagpole at the line of scrimmage, setting up a long conversion. Green Mountain, they take a timeout here and they pass over the middle to number 15, Audrea Hildebrand here with her second catch on this drive that sets up 4th and 9 or 10. And the quarterback zips it in to 1 on the right side to 22 for the score here. And that is going to be Emmy Hirup here with the receiving touchdown. And the PAT is no good, but Green Mountain is on the board now. Chatfield runs a hook and ladder on their opening play that picks up about 15 yards before a pass to number 11 once again picks up a first down. After a toss left, picks up a nice gain. Quarterback surveys the field and then dots up number 11 once again on the left side, who waltzes in for a score here. As I mentioned earlier here, that is the senior receiver for Chatfield, Audrey Hubble here, who just tears apart the Rams defense on this drive. And Chatfield, they also get a successful conversion with a pass to number 3. That is the junior Jaden Lodice. Green Mountain here, they have a run left that gains maybe 1, and then the quarterback keeps right for a gain of 10. They hand off up the middle that gets about 7 yards, and then after a pass over the middle is incomplete, that would be the end of the half. Chatfield leading 22-6 over Green Mountain. But Green Mountain does get the ball to start the half. And they have a pass right that has a decent enough gain, but after an incompletion and a reverse right, they are staring down 4th and 15 here. They take a deep shot right to 18, but there's even better coverage here by number 7 of Chatfield, Tia Maskew, who gets a huge pass breakup. Now Chatfield, they have a nice gain right and then a toss left for a first down and another pass to number 11 that gets them inside the 5-yard line. After they pass right to 6 here for the scores, that's 6 for 6. Marissa Blakemore on another receiving touchdown here. They toss it to the quarterback who surveys and then accelerates. That's junior quarterback Alexis McClellan here with that big touchdown run, just like how she got the conversion earlier in the game. Green Mountain, they wind up with a double pass here for a huge gain that sets up 2nd and 6. And then they pass it to number 22 here, who picks up a first down. That is Emmy Hirup here on the reception for the first. But 2 flags on the player, both on the Rams, and it pushes them back. There's a sack by Chatfield here that pushes them back. And then the quarterback heaves a pass that is brought in for a big first down. That is number 8, Chloe Verbeek here on the reception that gives them a first down here and keeps the Rams' hopes somewhat alive here. But a couple of handoffs and incompletions later, they take a timeout on 4th down. And after the pass sails out of the back of the end zone, that is a turnover on downs. Chatfield here, they pass left to 8, who gets near the 5-yard line, but a personal foul on Green Mountain halves the distance, and on the very next play, you already know what it is here. It's business as usual with Alexis McClellan finding Audrey Hubble here for the touchdown on the very next play for 6. So, and then there's another pass to number 10 that gets the conversion. Green Mountain here, they are driving on this, with a pass left for about a 14-yard gain to open up this drive. That is 22 on the reception for that. And then a pass right for a first down. There's a new quarterback this drive that is in number 17, Lucy Policaro here. And this brings them to the 2-minute warning. They hand it off to 22 for a short gain. Number 5 for Chatfield gets a flagpole for loss. And after a swing left to 2, which is Rome Vianney here, picks up a modest gain. Chatfield safety bats the next deep throw down, and that concludes this contest. Chatfield V winning over Green Mountain 36-6. Chatfield showing that experience and that ability that they have been here before, and Green Mountain just looking a little too raw in their state tournament debut. And we follow that up with another Chatfield matchup. However, this is Chatfield V2. We're still in the first round here, and they are squaring off against the favorites here, Arvada West here, the state runner-ups from last year. So Chatfield, some of these players may have played against them last year. West remembers some of these cats, or some of these Chargers, I should say, from a different lens potentially. But here we go. It's round one. Arvada West is going to start off here with a pass over the middle to number 23, Hayden Briscoe here for a nice gain. On the next play, it is an overthrow, but right after that, Sailor Swanson, the quarterback here, keeps herself for a big gain all the way to the 5-yard line, the opposing 5-yard line. Now, after a shovel is incomplete on first down and they throw right, that also ends up sailing. On 3rd and 5, they dial up a slant to number 21, Sarah Walker here, who scores, and a pass left to number 2 converts the point after attempt. That's Santana Pena here, and just like that, Arvada West is up. Now, Chatfield V2, they start off here on their own side of the ball with an incompletion before they call a double toss to number 19, who is the quarterback, a freshman quarterback, Sadie Goodwin, who picks up a pretty decent gain, maybe about 4 yards. But they then try a pass left deep, but that is going to be intercepted by number 21, Sarah Walker, once again. Well, not once again, but for the first time of a few in this tournament, I should say. Spoiler alert, because Sarah Walker sets up A West inside of midfield. And, the Cats are looking to capitalize, but that is shortly interrupted here by number 87 of Chatfield here. Maybe it was number 97 because I don't see an 87 on their roster, which would be Blanca Solanas here, the sophomore for the Chargers. This is a very young team, by the way, and if this is more like their JV, which is probably what it should be called instead of Varsity 2, this is still a very talented football team and one that is going to keep Chatfield competitive for many years to come. Now, while they do go backwards here, they pass it right to 23, who picks up a good gain, and an illegal procedure flag pushes the Cats back from the original line in scrimmage. Now, after a few short passes, it is 4th and 20, and they try and get a completion for a first down, but that is incomplete, and Chatfield gets the ball right back, surviving the interception with their backs against the wall here. Now, they do pass it over the middle to Jenna Lee, number 32, for an all right pickup, and then they have another pass right after, coming right back to her after that. After a pass over the middle is incomplete, number 4 for Arvada West on 4th down, Lindley McReynolds gets to the quarterback here and registers a sack for a turnover on downs. Now, Arvada West here coming out with a pass right to number 28, Alex Antil, I want to say, whose speed makes multiple flag pulls miss for a gain of about 10 yards. Another pass to 28 in the flats picks up a few yards before a pass to number 5 here picks up a first down. Number 5, one of my favorite route runners of the day, Molly Shellpepper here with a chain moving catch, first of many. Now a deep shot left to 2 at the 2-minute warning puts the Cats at the 1-yard line after Santana Pena brings in a very tough catch, but a pass over the middle is incomplete and the Cats will take a timeout. That's all right, though, because they do call a shovel pass where they're rolling out and looking, but then Sailor flips her shoulders and passes right to 28 at the pylon for the score here. That is Alex Antil registering that touchdown, and a double pass from Sarah Walker to Molly Shellpepper here is good for the conversion. And just like that, Arvada is up 15-0 at half, and they're going to start with the football here. That doesn't seem right because Arvada West started with it. Maybe there's a mistake here. But anyways, not a mistake in my notating, but Arvada West definitely starts with the football here. And Sailor keeps and zigs and zags down the field for a decent gain, but a penalty brings that back. They don't seem to care here, though, because Sailor dials up a deep bomb to Sarah Walker, who flips the field, and after that, they pass right to number 2 for a short gain, and then a pass over the middle to 21, Sarah Walker, sets up 3rd and about a foot. They call a quick pass play that's a flip to number 5 for the touchdown, but the 2-point try would be no good as junior Sophia Pratt, number 64 for Chatfield, intercepts the point after touchdown. Chatfield, They do try a very deep pass that's incomplete, but they do draw a pass interference penalty, and that makes it only 5 yards until a first down. Once again, that freshman quarterback here, number 19, Sadie Goodwin, finds her favorite target, Jenna Lee, that picks up a huge first down and puts them actually inside the 5. After a false start that pushes them back, they have an incompletion, but then they heave it up to number 31, this really tall player, Ellie Buck here, who catches that touchdown on the defender's head. And even with, the defender kind of in great position, honestly, Ellie Buck just makes a fantastic play here, and that is the Chargers' very first score. On the PAT, it is no good, but they draw a holding penalty. But on the second try, it's still no good, and they are now down 6-21. Arvada West then passes right here to start their drive to Sarah Walker, who picks up a solid gain. And then they call a double handoff, but a great flag pull saves what could have been a large gain here. Chatfield getting a quick stop on that play. They then call a quick pass right to 21, who does get the first down, and the 18-21 connection is proving to be too much, as 21 makes it look way too easy for the score. They then call a roll left pass over the middle to number 10, who catches the conversion. Number 10 being listed as Aubrey Cespedes here for Arvada West. Now Chatfield, they come out, and the quarterback keeps herself and picks up a run, and a defensive hold gains a few extra yards, as they are now only 10 yards away from the first down. There is an incompletion here, and the quarterback throws right almost for a first down. After a quick middle hit to 32 does pick up the first, they come out with a jump pass between two receivers that is incomplete. Number 4 for Arvada West gets back to the quarterback. That's Lindley McReynolds here for a sack, and after a pass to number 18 picks up a few yards, it sets up one last play that Arvada West would break up and would end the game here. Arvada West beating Chatfield V2 here 28-6, and unfortunately ending Chatfield's day here. But that is going to do it from me here in the first round. I'm going to go ahead and pass the mic off to Coach V and then Gino for quite some time here.
What's good, y'all? Coach V here, and I'm going to go ahead and recap the round 1 matchup between Pomona and Chaparral girls flag football here at the 2023 state finals that took place on October 14th, 2023. I will say this. So we have rosters. I think Kodey might have already said that, but the only team to not include like the jersey number of their players is Chaparral. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and read off every single player that was at this deal, right? And then I'm going to refer to their numbers because obviously I don't know who is who. And then for Pomona, I'll use names and stuff like that, okay? So shout out to Chaparral's Addison Landgren, Addie Brantley, Addison Thee, Brindley LaGrange, Courtney Giles, excuse me if I'm saying that wrong, I feel like I am, Emily Wolf, Georgia Gower, Grace Johnson, Jamie Baum, Joey Neifert, Kayla Hop, Lauren Treber, I think that's Rowan or Ray, I don't know how to say that, I think it's Raywin, excuse me, Sager, Riley Krutoff, Salem Sherman, Sophia O'Donnell, Sophie Matthews, Clara Huffman, and Chloe Petrillo. Or Petrillo. Maybe I'm just saying that wrong. So there you go there. Shout out to Chaparral. Got to watch them in the regionals, and so just wanted to make sure I read off all their names just so that they know, or that the people know that I'm mentioning one of them. I just don't know who. So there you go there. Now, in this round 1 matchup, it was played at Field 2. The winner would go ahead and play the winner of that Valor versus Regis Jesuit matchup here. So there you go there. Now, let's go ahead and hop into this one for Pomona. They had a pretty promising drive, but that was killed thanks to a great interception by number 3 of Chaparral on the first drive. Following that, a tough flag guarding penalty would kind of put them in a tough spot, but third down, they would go ahead and throw it here, obviously trying to go deep, and that will be picked off by number 19 of Pomona. That is senior Anna Teagan here, who would go ahead and set them up in the red zone. Following that, a run by number 14. That's Emily Abeta or Abeta. I might be saying that wrong, so I'm so sorry if I am. But she's a junior. She got them a nice couple yards. Then they go ahead and toss it to number 3, Janessa Mondragon here. She's a senior, and she would go ahead and score for Pomona to put them on the board and give them the 6-0 lead for Shap. Now they go ahead and go for 2 here, but it's no good, so they just lead 6-0. Following that, Chaparral trying to get something going, but not quite going the way they want. It starts out with a drop. Second down, they do make a tough sideline catch on the right side here, or it looks like it's a catch, but I think the receiver got ruled out of bounds, so technically it's incomplete, so third down pretty much at the same spot. And then number 22, their quarterback, goes ahead and dials it up down the right sideline and throws a bomb to number 23 for a touchdown, tying this one at 6-6. PAT's no good, so it stays tied there. Now Pomona would go ahead and get it. Number 18, I believe, that's Juliet Cordova, is their sophomore quarterback, by the way. She throws the slant to senior Janessa Mondragon here, who goes ahead and gets them into the red zone. A great play by her, just weaving in and out of that defense for a huge gain to put them in the red zone. After a couple incompletions here, it is third down, and on third down, Juliet Cordova feels some of that pressure, and she scrambles, but is stopped just short of scoring. So now it's fourth down here. On fourth down, Cordova drops back, throws it, but it is dropped here. Unfortunately, it would have been a touchdown, and so that's a turnover on downs. Chaparral, they go ahead and take over here, but they are not able to get anything going. A couple run plays and 2 incompletions in a row would force a 3-and-out. Pomona would then return the favor and go 3-and-out as well. And right before half, Chaparral looked like to get something going. A nice slant to number 4, went for a huge gain, but unfortunately the clock ran out there, and so going into the second half, Pomona and Chaparral tied at 6-6. To start the second half, Chaparral takes over here. Number 22 with a nice high throw to their tall receiver, number 5. That goes for a solid gain. She just throws the seam route there. Following that, she throws a little quick hitter to number 4 here. Her flag is immediately pulled there. That brings up third down. She then tosses it to number 4, who goes for a minimal gain, maybe a yard or 2 there. And then on fourth, I believe this is fourth down here, they go ahead and drop back number 22, and she aims deep, throwing it, but that one is intercepted by senior Anna Teagan here, who makes a great interception. All hands on this one. And so Pomona takes over near midfield, but some, maybe not controversy, but a little bit of drama. What seemed to be an interception was actually a pass interference call, and so Chaparral now gets the ball past the midfield and a first down, obviously, there. So really interesting here, but unfortunately they are not able to take advantage of that. Kind of a break, honestly, there, and it comes down to a fourth down here. And on fourth down, they throw it, and it is deflected by Luana, I want to say Cordova. Excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. She is a sophomore here. And so that goal line stand brings up a turnover on downs. After a drop on second down for Pomona, number 18 here, Juliet Cordova, throws a nice little quick throw to number 3 here, Janessa Mondragon here, who goes for a huge gain across midfield and for a first down. After a throwaway on second down, she goes back to Mondragon here, who goes for a couple. On third down, she throws a quick throw here. I couldn't quite see the receiver, but her flag's immediately pulled. She gets maybe a yard or 2 here. And so that does bring up fourth down. And on fourth down, they go ahead and pitch it to number 3. That is Janessa Mondragon, and she walks it in for a touchdown to give them the 12-6 lead, and it stays that way as the PAT is no good. Now Chaparral, they're trying to get something going here. After a quick throw that goes for a couple, number 22 dials one deep. Once more to number 23 down the right sideline. She almost scores, but is down on the one here. So there you go there. After an incompletion on second down, 22 throws the quick drag to number 4, who ties it up at 12-12. The PAT is deflected. Couldn't quite see by who, but regardless, it was a clutch play to keep this thing tied. Pomona, though, would go ahead and take over after a quick handoff to number 3, Janessa Mandrigan. She goes for a couple yards, which is nice. And then number 18, their quarterback, Juliet Cordova, scrambles and gets a solid gain. Not a first down, though. And so a couple minimal yardage plays here brings them up to third down. And on third down, Cordova goes ahead and throws it to number 8. That is Aaliyah Valenzuela here, a fellow sophomore who goes ahead and gives them the first down on the drag route. A much needed first down, by the way, there. Following that, Cordova drops back and throws the drag, this time to Emily Abeta here, who makes a player miss and walks it in for a Pomona touchdown here. A great play by number 14 there to go ahead and give them the lead. PAT is no good, and at this point, neither team has had a successful PAT, so all touchdowns here so far. Now, Chaparral takes over, looking to get that score back. A dangerous pass over the middle is knocked down, bringing up second down. Following that, the quarterback seems pretty determined to throw it over the middle as she does it again, and this time, instead of it being knocked down, it is intercepted by senior Janessa Mondrigan here, who goes ahead and gives Pomona the ball past midfield, and that might be the dagger, I believe. They go ahead and hand it off to number 3 Mondrigan, who goes for a couple. Following incompletion, it's third down. They throw it to a receiver, couldn't quite see who, but it is short there. They run another play and it's incomplete, and so that will be a turnover on down. So Chaparral does get the ball back, but with not a lot of time left, and they are trailing 18-12. And so here's what happened. Chaparral takes a deep shot again, but this time it's almost picked here. Then there's another incompletion, which I believe that is number 19, Anna Teagan there, who forces an incompletion, bring up third down. And then on third down, the quarterback is sacked by Pomona for a huge safety. Couldn't quite see the number, but this is a big one that will go ahead and give Pomona basically an 8-point lead. I was about to say 2-score lead, but not quite yet. But still a solid 8-point lead with little time left, and that would be enough for Pomona to win this one and move on to play in the next round against the winner of Valor Christian versus Regis Jesuit. Alright, Coach V here, and I'm going to go ahead and recap that round 1 matchup between Legend and Horizon here. The winner of this game would go on to the second round of the state finals tournament and go ahead and play the winner of that Cherry Creek versus Mountain Vista JV game. So let's go ahead and hop into this one. Okay, to start this game, number 4, well, I guess Legend in general would get the ball. And number 4 is their quarterback. That is Emily Hahn here. And she would go ahead and check it down to number 22 of Legend, obviously. That is Ashley Halberg, I want to say. And that would go for a couple there. Not a lot, but a couple just to get them started here. Following that, they go back to Halberg here, Ashley Halberg, on the jet sweep. She then reverses fields and goes for a couple more yards there, getting a solid gain. Following that, they go ahead and run a quick little hook and ladder play that does go for a first down, but there is a penalty, so that brings it back. So following that, their quarterback, Emily Hahn, goes ahead and finds number 32 here. That is Ava Gavi here. And she would go ahead and, get a couple of yards here. She finds her on the flat route, but she is short. So that's a turnover on downs, and it is Horizon's ball to start. Horizon's quarterback, that is number 1 for them, Natalie Thornton. She goes for a couple of yards. Not a lot, though, as Legends defense plays really well there. On second down, they do another reverse, but this time it's to their quarterback, Thornton. But she is stopped short of the goal line. Almost a safety. This goes for a loss here, but not quite yet. And so they're backed up into their own goal line here. third down, number 1. That's the quarterback. Thornton runs, but she is stopped for no gain. That brings up fourth down, and on fourth down again, it's another. I can't tell if it's a design run or a scramble. It looks like a designed run to Thornton once more, but she is stopped, and so that's a turnover on downs here. Legend gets the ball, and here is what happens. They go ahead and run a jet sweep to Tori Kodey here, it looks like, and she goes and gets a couple nice yards. Following that, Emily Hahn, the quarterback, throws the corner out to number 32, Ava Gavi, who gets a couple yards here. And actually really gets them close to midfield. Not quite a first down, but gets them close to midfield, almost a first down. A quick little hitch route throw to 21. That is Tori Kodey would give them the first down. Following that, they hand it off to 23 here. Avery Kitzmiller, I believe it's Avery Kitzmiller, who goes ahead and gets them a couple of yards on the handoff. On second down here, Emily Hahn finds number 2. That is Callie Lewis, who turns it upfield and scores, giving Legend the quick 6-0 lead. She then goes back to Lewis here on the PAT, who catches the ball, which is slightly behind, but a great adjustment by her gives them the 7-0 lead. Following that, Horizon has the ball here. Natalie Thornton throws it to number 12 here. That is either Maiden or Madden Cassetley. Excuse me if I'm saying that wrong. Please feel free to correct us here. But she throws it to her for a nice gain. Near midfield, but not quite a first down. She would go back to her, though. That would give them a first down. Following that, Natalie Thornton scrambles for a couple yards, setting up second down. On second down, she throws it, but it is a dropped touchdown pass here, which is pretty deflating, but still another chance. And on third down, Thornton throws it again, but it is yet another drop touchdown pass. So now it's fourth down here. And on fourth down, Thornton throws it kind of over the middle, but misses a wide open receiver near the sideline. And so that's a turnover on downs. Legend takes over. On this drive, Emily Hahn finds her receiver on the slant. That is Mira Linderman, I believe, here, who goes for a nice gain. And actually gets them near midfield. It goes for about 10-ish yards, if not a little bit more here. Then she throws it, Hahn that is, she throws it to Avery Kitzmiller. She gives them 5 yards, so third down. But unfortunately, a false start pushes them back that 5 yards, so they basically lose that play. But no worries there, Hahn. She goes to Ashley Holberg here, or Holberg, who gets those yards back and a little bit more, but still short of the first down. So fourth down here, Hahn, she's rolling, looking for a receiver. Then she just pitches it forward here to number 12. That is Riley Early, who goes ahead and gives them a first down, extending this Legend drive. Following that, they do a couple handoffs, which goes for a couple yards. On second down, it's a drop ball. On third down, it's an incompletion, just off the mark. And then on fourth down, Legend calls a timeout, and they go ahead and drop back Emily Hahn, but she is sacked, and so that's a turnover on downs. Now, Horizon tries to put something together here, but they are not quite able to get anything going, and so going into the second half, Legend leads 7-0 here. Now, Horizon, they do start with the ball, but unfortunately, their offense is just cold here, starting out with a drop. Then she does throw it over the middle here. This is a really good play where she finds number 12. That is Madden, I think it's Madden Cassetley here, who gets a couple yards. Not a lot, but a couple. Then third down's an incompletion, and fourth down, it is a drop. So they go 3 and out. Legend, they take over. 2 quick outs. That brings up third down. But unfortunately, a drop pass on third brings up fourth down. And on top of that, throw a penalty, which moves them back here. Then they go ahead and run a double pass which does end up going to, I should say, number 32 on their team. That is Ava Gavi here, who tiptoes down the sideline here for a first down. Looks like she might get pushed out, but keeps her balance and gets that first down, extending this drive for Legend. Then they go ahead and call a reverse call to Reese Agnew here. She makes a couple players miss and goes to the house for Legend, giving them the 13-0 lead. PAT's no good, but a 2-score lead is great regardless. Now the struggles for Horizon continues as they eventually get to a 4th down situation again after a couple incompletions and short yardage plays. And on 4th down, Thornton throws it deep, but it is intercepted here by number 32. That's Ava Gavi of Legend. That gives them the ball here. On offense, looking to kind of put the nail in the coffin here, they go ahead and throw the curl to number 2. That is Callie Lewis. She goes for a solid gain for about 10. They go ahead and do a little hook and ladder play, which ends up in the hands of Reese Agnew there. She gives them a solid gain and a 1st down, most importantly. They then call a reverse to Tori Curdy. She gets them a solid gain of 10 yards. On 2nd down, Emily Hahn throws it to Ava Gavi here on the slant. That is good enough to basically put them in the red zone within 10 or so yards here. 3rd down, though. And then on 3rd down, Emily Hahn drops back and throws it here. And it is caught near the sideline by Reese Agnew, who goes ahead and makes a beautiful sideline catch to give them the commanding 19-0 lead. Now, the PAT's no good, but at this point, this one's basically over as the clock is ticking here, and Legend does have a 3-score lead. That would end up being enough for them to defeat Horizon and move on to the next round of the state finals tournament. Final score would actually be 19-6. Natalie Thornton would find a receiver deep there to kind of make this one a little bit more respectable, but at this point, it was over. Legend played a good football game. Horizon kind of just took a really long time to get going on offense there, so that's a very unfortunate there for them. But for a first-year program, gotta feel good about where they are at. So there you go there. Coach V here, and I'm here to talk about the round 1 matchup between Cherry Creek and Mountain Vista Junior Varsity squad here, actually, or Mountain Vista JV. So, round 1 matchup, the winner of this one would go ahead and play Legend in the next round, who defeated Horizon. So there you go there, an opponent already waiting for them. But without further ado, let's go ahead and hop into this one. And actually, sorry, before we hop into this one, I do want to make a comment. So we have Cherry Creek's rosters right here, but unfortunately, they did not attach jersey numbers to them. And so I have no idea who made what play here. And so for Cherry Creek, I am just going to announce the number and of the player, obviously, who made the biggest plays here. And I'm also just going to go ahead and list out the names of everyone here, just so that they could get a little bit of credit. So there you go. But for Cherry Creek, they have Alex Gribb, Samantha Gruich, Addie Beck, Megan Chen, Molly Dorhigi, I want to say, Sophia Ball, Sarah Reynolds, Mia Patrina, Kamaya Keeney, Abigail Douglas, Ashley Sands, Isabel Glasspool, Lexi Robar, Alexa Talmage, Giselle Boker, Brooklyn Feeder, or Feder, I want to say, and then Ada Kleck. So there you go. Those are the players. It's one of those players making a play here. I just don't know who. So that is that. But let's go ahead and actually hop into this first round game here. Cherry Creek starts with the ball, and unfortunately, it's a high snap to start, so ball is dead. 2nd down here. On 2nd down, number 3, their quarterback throws a slant to 18. That goes for a solid gain there. 3rd down here, number 3 scrambles for a couple yards, but not a 1st down, so that brings up 3rd down once more. And on 3rd down, the same thing happens. She scrambles for a solid gain, but not quite a 4th down. Not quite a 1st down here. And at this point, they're pretty far away, so they basically punt. And so Mountain Vista JV starts with it here. Next, to start, they go ahead and hand it off to number 13. That is Ashlyn Hayden, the junior. They then do a handoff, which goes to their quarterback. Interesting enough, Marin Camaglia here, who is replacing their usual quarterback for today. That's number 2, Addison Devlin there, which is a tough loss. but it looks like number 7's here at quarterback. She does get a solid gain, just a couple of yards. On third down, she throws it quick here to a receiver that goes for another couple. But that brings up fourth down here, still short of the first down, sort of near midfield, maybe 10-ish yards away. And on fourth down, number 7 drops back and throws it, but it is intercepted by number 17 of Cherry Creek and returned to the house. Touchdown, Cherry Creek takes a 6-0 lead. PAT is no good, though. And so following that, Mountain Vista JV gets the ball back pretty quickly here, obviously, with a chance to right that mistake. To start here, Marin Camiglia here throws the quick out to number 13, Ashlyn Hayden, and she goes ahead and gets a huge gain, a pretty big gain here. That would get them to midfield, well beyond midfield, and just barely the first down. So there you go there. Unfortunately, though, after that, they would go ahead and throw a slant. That would go for a couple, but a penalty would move them back a couple more yards. They will then throw a quick throw here, but it goes for maybe 1 yard, so that brings up third down. Then there's an incompletion, and then I believe Mountain Vista JV decides to punt it. I could be wrong here. Either way, they don't get points on this drive, so Cherry Creek takes over. Here's what happens. Number 3, their quarterback throws a pretty deep curl route here. The receiver really just sits between the zone, and she gets them near midfield. Not a first down, though. The scramble by the quarterback on the next play would give them a first down. Fast forward to second down here. Number 3 throws the wheel route to number 13, who almost goes for a touchdown, but is stopped on the 1. No worries, though. She would go ahead and throw it to number 5 on the quick hitch to make it 12-0, and then go back to number 2 on the PAT to make it 13-0. Now, Mountain Vista JV, they're trying to get something going, but a couple incompletions and just really short throws that are going nowhere brings up a turnover on downs eventually. And so Cherry Creek, here we go, looking for a knockout punch. They do throw it deep, basically 3 straight times. The first time it's incomplete. The second time, I guess it's not a deep throw, but it's a slant. That goes for about 10 yards. The third time, it's into double coverage. And then on fourth down, they try to throw it deep as well. So not 3 straight times, but 1 time and then 2 straight times. But regardless, that was a drop pass on fourth down. And so it's a turnover on downs. In my opinion, it's just a little bit too aggressive going for the knockout punch here. Now, Mountain Vista JV, they're trying to get something going, but like I said, just a lot of short passes and incompletions, just not going for them. On third down, they throw it deep, but this one's almost intercepted, which brings up fourth down, and on fourth down, they throw it, but the ball is tipped by the rusher here, and so that's Cherry Creek ball. Now, they try to get something going, but there's just not enough time for them to do anything. So at half, Cherry Creek leads 13-0. Now, to start the second half, Mountain Vista JV, they start with the ball, and they go ahead and throw it here to the flats, but this route is jumped, and it's just not a good play. It's jumped by number 18 of Cherry Creek, who goes ahead and houses it for a pick 6. They then throw the PAT to number 2 to make it a 20-0 lead. And when I say it wasn't a good play, I mean it's not a good play for Mountain Vista JV, obviously, as Cherry Creek takes a commanding 20-0 lead, and they don't really look back at this point. I mean, the game is over. It's a 3-score lead, and Mountain Vista JV, I think, has not even gotten a first down. Maybe they got 1. And so the final score of that game would end up being 34-8 as Cherry Creek moves on in a very dominant performance here. And unfortunately for Mountain Vista JV, the loss of their quarterback just proved to be just a little bit too much. On top of that, this is a pretty young group as well, so you gotta give them credit there. But for Cherry Creek, they'll move on and play Legend in the second round.
How's it going, everybody? Gino here with the Playmakers Corner podcast, here to give you all the scoop on what happened in round 1 on field 3 this past weekend for the girls flag football state tournament at the Broncos training facility. Gideon and I were outside spectating the field 3 games in rounds 1 and 2, and then we met up with Kodey and Simon inside to catch the semis and the state final. Let's go ahead and start off with our first game. We got a matchup between a couple of teams that played in Region 4 last weekend for regionals. So Gideon was able to see both of these teams previously. Let's not waste any more time and see how this game played out. So our first round 1 game is Columbine Navy versus Ralston Valley Navy. Columbine would start with the ball here, but Ralston showed their defensive prowess early on here as they shut down the first couple of plays. On third down, Columbine's QB, number 5, Jordan Washington, would scramble for a solid gain down near the first down. But on fourth down here, Ralston would clutch up as number 8, Gracie Hodgson, gets a huge sack to force a turnover on downs for Columbine. Ralston would start their first drive of the game off hot here as the senior number 15, Addie Cadwell, is off to the races and gets a huge run down deep in Columbine territory. They followed that up with a pass to an open receiver from the QB, number 26, Zozal, but it's dropped. Another Zozal pass is nearly picked off in the end zone, but then on fourth down, they nearly score, but number 2, Maddie Sobieski on Columbine, sorry if I mispronounced that, she makes a big stop, and that forces a turnover on downs. Columbine would turn it over on downs on their next drive here with number 15, Addie Cadwell, making plays on defense as well as offense. Speaking of Addie Cadwell, she spun and juked her way for a run near the first down to start the drive for Ralston Valley, and then followed that up with another nice run, giving Ralston the first down, threatening in Columbine territory once again. They would take advantage here, though, as Zozal hits number 4, Gianna Tate, on a short crosser, and Tate takes that one in for the touchdown. Tate wasn't done here, though, as she also scored the PAT as well to put Ralston Valley up 7-0 here in the first half. That Zal-Tate connection is definitely a huge part of Ralston's success. Columbine would run a few plays, but the end of the half would come before they could do anything. So it is 7-0 at halftime in this one with Ralston in the lead. Rolling into the second half here, Ralston would start with the ball in the second half, but number 13, Ansley Levitt on Columbine makes nice stops to help set up a turnover on downs for Ralston Valley. Columbine had a bit of a miscue here as they try to trick play with Washington pitching it to a girl in motion behind her, but the pitch is dropped and Ralston recovers in the end zone for a safety. That puts Ralston up 9-0 now and gives them the ball back as well. So I'll start off the drive here hitting number 11, Elena Roboff, in a tight window for a nice gain, and then followed that up with a nice run on fourth down where she made a girl fall, avoiding a sack, but she was down short of the first, so Ralston turns it over on downs here. Jordan Washington would try and shorten this Ralston lead as she hits number 11, Carly Dexter, down the sideline for a big gain. This hope for Columbine wouldn't last long, though, as number 17, Angela Maley, I'm not sure how to pronounce that, picks off Washington's pass to give the ball back to Ralston Valley. Ralston turned it over on downs following the pick, but number 3, Haley Rothert on Ralston Valley, got a huge sack on Columbine's next drive to force another turnover on downs for them. And that would pretty much wrap things up here in this one as Ralston Valley gets the win 9-0, and they will move on to the second round of the tournament to face the winner of Chatfield Varsity and Green Mountain. Tough way to end the season for Columbine, but they are only graduating 4 girls, so they should be feeling pretty good about getting another offseason to prepare for next year. Great season for them, though, and good luck to the seniors in whatever it is that they pursue next. Next game here, we got the last of the games for round 1 on field 3. We got Mountain Vista Varsity facing off against the Thunderridge Grizzlies. Thunderridge is a team full of tall girls for their QB to throw to, so that makes them a tough matchup for any team. Mountain Vista Varsity is a good team, though, and they match up well against Thunderridge with their speed and offensive attack. So let's go ahead and see how this one went. Thunderridge started with the ball in this one with their QB, number 16, Allie Horsford, hitting number 15, Ella Hernandez, who makes a really nice catch, but Thunderridge would end up turning it over on downs here. Mountain Vista started off looking sloppy, first with a bad snap, and then number 26, Tessa Rebhan, sorry if I mispronounced that, on Thunderridge, made a nice tackle behind the line of scrimmage, and then 2 straight incomplete passes would force a turnover on downs for Mountain Vista. T-Ridge would turn over on downs as well in the next drive, so not a lot of offense early on in this game. Mountain Vista started to get some offense going here, though, using short passes to get up to 3rd and short, And then number 17, Braylon Looney, makes a nice catch to give Mountain Vista the first down of the game. This hope was cut short, though, as number 14, Lily Grissom on Thunderridge, picks off a pass and gives Thunderridge another opportunity to score first. But Thunderridge would turn it over on downs once again after that interception, so still no offense in this game. Thunderridge would answer here, though, as they nearly pick off the first pass, and then on second down, number 16, the QB, Allie Horsford, picks off a pass to give Thunderridge yet another chance to score first. But this interception is called off after there was some sort of flag on the play. Huge blow for T-Ridge, because after that interception, Mountain Vista would put in number 3, Liana Rivera at QB, and they never looked back. She first completed a pass to number 12, Serena Ryder, not sure which one, down near the end zone, and then she followed that up with a touchdown pass to number 15, Arabella Hebink, yeah, I think that's how you pronounce that, to put Mountain Vista up 6-0 after the failed PAT, still in the first half. Thunderridge would try to answer as Allie Horsford hits number 26, Tessa Rebhan, on a beautiful pass down the sideline for a huge gain, but we would reach the end of the half here before they are able to answer. It is 6-0 Mountain Vista heading into halftime. So coming out of halftime, Mountain Vista would start with the ball here, but Allie Horsford isn't done making plays as she picks off a pass right away, and that puts Thunderridge close to their end zone. Following the pick, she hits number 36, Peyton Winningham, for a touchdown to tie this one up 6-6 early on in the second half. It stays 6-6 after Thunderridge couldn't secure the PAT. It's Mountain Vista ball now, and they would get blessed as a questionable pass interference call on Thunderridge pushes them up near the first down. We then got a pass from Liana Rivera to number 17, Braylon Looney, over the middle for a first down. And it was Rivera to Looney again on the next play as Rivera fits the ball through a tight window to find her receiver. She then found number 15, Arabella Hebink, on a short pass for a touchdown, and that puts Mountain Vista up 12-6 after the PAT. Thunderridge turned it over on downs on their next drive, and Mountain Vista took advantage here. They started off with a short crosser to number 1, Riley Rivera, who takes it down near the first. Rivera followed that up with a great pass in a tight window to number 12, Serena Reeder, and she makes her way near the goal line, and then you add a jersey pull flag on Thunderridge on top of that to push them up a little bit more. On second down, number 1, Riley Rivera would catch another short pass and take it in for the touchdown. Mountain Vista is now up 18-6 late in the second half. Thunderridge would drive all the way down the field on their next drive with a couple hook and ladders that put them down near the end zone. Unfortunately for them, though, they are unable to score on this drive after a couple of failed passes to the end zone. They got another glimmer of hope, though, as number 14, Lily Grissom, picks off a pass and takes it in for a pick six to cut into the Mountain Vista lead. But some flags on the field put a halt to that as the refs wipe the pick six after some discussion. Another massive blow for Thunderridge as 18-6 would be the final score in this one as Mountain Vista Varsity moves on to the next round to play the winner of Arvada West in Chatfield Varsity 2. For Thunderridge, that was a really rough way to end their season as I feel like they had multiple opportunities to score, but they just simply couldn't execute. They showed a lot of fight, though, and definitely had Mountain Vista on their toes all game. Going to be very interesting to see how they look come next year. Good luck to all of the Grizzlies seniors, and congratulations on an awesome year. That about wraps up round 1 here at Field 3, so I will catch you all at the round 2 part of the episode. Peace out. What is going on, everybody? Gino here with the Playmakers Corner podcast, here to give y'all a recap on what happened on Field 3 in Round 2. Giddy and I got to witness a couple of competitive games here on Field 3 in Round 2, the first of which we saw was between Pomona and Valor, two teams that I definitely felt were worthy of a Final Four spot. I got to see Pomona nearly win Region 2 the week before, and then Gideon saw Valor win Region 4 as well. Coming into this game, Valor was coming off a huge comeback win against a scrappy Regis squad in round 1, and then Pomona got the win over Chaparral as well. Let's jump right into this game and see who of these two teams will be moving on to the Final Four. Valor started the game off nicely with their QB number 12, Claire Paff, taking a read option for a nice gain. And then she almost got a huge touchdown pass, but the ball is dropped, and Valor would end up with a turnover on downs on this drive. Pomona would get going early on here, starting off with their QB number 18, Juliet Cordova, scrambling for a few yards, and then she hit a receiver on a short crosser for a nice gain down near the first down. She then found number 15, Kendra Ritzman, for a nice gain down near the end zone, and then they completed a pass for a short gain, and then pitched it to number 14, Emily Abeda, for a touchdown. But for some reason, the refs called that play off long after the play was over, when Pomona was even setting up for their extra point. Very confusing, but it didn't matter though, as Juliet Cordova connects with Kendra Ritzman again, this time for a touchdown to put Pomona up 6-0 early in the first half. They failed to score on the extra point, so it's still 6-0 Pomona. Claire Paff pitched it to number 25, Madison Roselle, who takes it for a huge gain into Pomona territory, but Valor would once again go turnover on downs here. Pomona started with an incomplete deep ball, followed that up with a Juliet Cordova scramble, with her scrambling her way out of a sack. She has a real knack for avoiding being sacked, and me and Gideon were very impressed with that. Then on fourth down here, number 3, Manessa Mondragon caught a short pass from Cordova and takes that for a big first down for Pomona. Cordova then steps back to pass and finds number 8, Aaliyah Valenzuela, who makes a jumping catch for a touchdown to put Pomona up 12-0, and that would be the score heading into halftime. Coming out of halftime here, Cordova and Valenzuela would connect again as Valenzuela catches a short crosser and takes it for a big gain for a first down. Cordova then got her third touchdown pass of the game after she found Emily Abeda in the end zone, and that is her second of the game as well. No extra point for Pomona, so it is now 18-0. Number 23, Alexis Wood, would get a big first down for Valor after she caught a pass from Claire Paff. They then ran a hook and ladder, starting with a pass to number 13, Grace Hines, who then pitched it to number 9, Savannah Kahn, who takes it for a nice gain. Then number 25, Madison Roselle, caught a short pass for a touchdown, and that makes it 18-6. They got the extra point, so make that 18-7 Pomona, with still a solid amount of time left in the second half. Pomona would answer right away here, though, as Juliet Cordova makes an amazing pass through a tight window to number 3, Janessa Mondragon, and Mondragon takes this one down the sideline, barely voiding multiple flag pulls for a touchdown to put Pomona up 24-7. On the preceding Valor drive, Emily Abeda picks off a pass, and it looks like it was going to be a pick six, but number 15 on Valor, Lauren Lombardo, somehow tracked down Abeda in Valor territory. Juliet Cordova showed off some more insane moves here as she is just toying with defenders as she's being chased, bobbing and weaving her way near the end zone for a nice gain. She then followed that up with a fadeaway pass as she's being sacked to Aaliyah Valenzuela for an amazing touchdown pass to put Pomona up 30-7, and that would be our final score in this game. Pomona gets the win over Valor here, and they will be moving on to the Final Four to play the winner of Arvada West and Mountain Vista Varsity. For Valor, they were simply outplayed in this one as Pomona has a very tough offense to stop. They had themselves a great season, though, and have a Region 4 championship to show for it. Awesome season for Valor Christian, so congratulations to them, and good luck to all of their seniors. Our next game here on Field 3 in Round 2, we had Cherry Creek versus Legend. Cherry Creek came into this game fresh off a big win against Mountain Vista's JV team, and Legend was fresh off a win against a tough Horizon squad in Round 1. The winner of this one gets to play in the Final Four in the state tournament, so let's not waste any more time and see who will be advancing in the tournament. Cherry Creek started the game off red hot here, starting off with a pass from number 3 to number 10, as number 10 takes that one down near the first down. Creek then ran their signature hook and ladder play, where number 3 hits number 10 over the middle, and then number 10 flips it back to number 3 as she runs by, and she takes that one all the way for a touchdown. Creek got the PAT, and that puts them up 7-0 early in the first half. Legends QB number 4, Emily Hahn, hit number 2, Kaylee Lewis, who takes that pass a long way for a first down deep in Creek territory. Number 23 on Creek swatted down a first down pass and then skipped a fourth down. Hahn got sacked by number 21 on Creek to force a turnover on downs near the end zone. Creek got rolling on their next drive as number 3 finds her favorite target, number 10, and she takes that one the full field for a touchdown. Creek is now up 13-0 after they failed to score the PAT. Legend would put together a nice drive here, starting with a pass from Emily Hahn to number 22, Ashley Howelberg, for a nice gain, and followed that up with a crosser to number 32, Ava Gavi, for over the middle, and she is laid out over the middle after a few yards. Hahn then took a QB keeper for a first down on the next play, and then Hahn handed it off to number 20, Reese Agnew, on a sweep, and she takes it all the way for a touchdown. They couldn't score on the PAT, so that makes the score 13-6. Cherry Creek up still in the first half. Cherry Creek would waste no time to answer, though, as number 18 catches a short pass, and she takes that all the way for another huge Cherry Creek touchdown, putting them up 20-6 after they scored the PAT. Legend would turn it over on downs on their next drive, but they would get it back after number 32, Ava Gavi, picks off a pass and puts Legend deep in Cherry Creek territory. Emily Hahn found number 20, Reese Agnew, for a nice gain near the end zone. And then Hahn got sacked by number 19 on the next snap. But on the play after that, she throws a pass into the end zone. It is tipped by a Cherry Creek player and nearly picked off, but somehow number 22, Ashley Howelberg, makes the touchdown grab to make it 20-12 Creek at the end of the first half. Rolling into the second half here, Legend would start with the ball in the second half, but they would turn it over on downs, followed by a Cherry Creek turnover on downs, and that was followed by another Legend turnover on downs. Creek would get the ball back here on their second drive of the half, and the first pass is nearly picked off by Reese Agnew, but then their QB, number 3, runs it a long way near the end zone. She then hit none other than number 10 for a short touchdown pass, and she would catch the PAT as well to put Cherry Creek up 27-12 late in the game. Legend answered with a touchdown pass from Emily Hahn to Reese Agnew to make it 27-18, but that would be our final score in this one as Cherry Creek moves on to the Final Four to play the winner of Chatfield and Ralston Valley. For Legend, they definitely could have won this one, but it just came down to execution. They still have a bright future ahead nonetheless, and are one of the better coached teams in the state, so congratulations on a good season, and good luck to the Legend seniors on their future endeavors. That wraps up the action here at Field 3, so I will catch you all inside the Broncos training facility for the semifinals.
Hey everyone, that wasn't the last that you heard of me from this tournament here. We are back to Field 1. However, we are in Round 2 now, this time with Mountain Vista and Arvada West. A couple of things that I realized. Good luck to all of the seniors who graduated who have been eliminated at this point in the recording. I didn't want to make it seem like I wasn't going to thank you for that, but after Gino did it at the end of every segment, I figured I'm going to just throw it in here. But let's go ahead and talk about the teams that are still in the tournament here and still battling for state with Arvada West and Mountain Vista. So Arvada West to start, they get a pass to none other than number 21, Sarah Walker, over the middle that makes someone miss and almost gets to midfield. After a quick pass left to number 2, as a reminder, is Santana Pena here, who picks up a first down. The quarterback, 18, Sailor, runs left and after she is brought down, her flags, that is, an eagle is slow to get up, and this would be a consistent theme here throughout this game. Now they pass over to 21 over the middle, who stopped quickly, and then a pass right picks up about 7. They pass it right to 21, who stopped short, but some flags, not sure what, gives Arvada West an opportunity to throw it down here. But the Golden Eagles hold tough here in their own red zone and keep the Cats out for a turnover on downs. Now, Mountain Vista here, they start off with an incomplete pass. And then on second down, they call a double reverse pass, but that is going to be picked off here by Sailor Swanson, number 18. Sailor Swanson here, number 18, forcing the turnover and getting Arvada West right back into scoring position here. Now, they pass it to 23 after Sailor buys a ton of time, and that will score here. The receiver on this play being Hayden Briscoe on the touchdown. And then on the point after attempt, they do a swing pass, and that is going to be good. So Mountain Vista is down now, and they throw deep into traffic here, and luckily the pass falls incomplete. After a swing pass right picks up only a few yards, the Eagles are looking to try and move the chains, but a false start pushes them back and forces another swing pass left. And then they throw a quick pass left that is held short of the sticks and turn over on downs. Arvada West here, they pass right for a nice gain. And then on the next play, the quarterback keeps left, setting up 3rd and 11. A pass to number 21 brings in a highly contested catch for the first down, and the Eagles are getting worked by both the Cats and the injury bug as 2 more Golden Eagles leave the game, and one is trying to play banged up here. Now, it is a testament to their toughness and perseverance here as Vista forces an incomplete pass here on the very next play. But then they call a deep pass right that is incomplete. I thought that there probably could have been a pass interference or a hold on this play, but I don't necessarily see a problem with no flag either, I guess. But, it does help out here because there is an overthrow and a turnover on downs. However, there is a flag on the play here that keeps the drive alive, but it doesn't matter because there's quadruple coverage on number 21 here by the Eagles to force an incompletion and force this game to halftime. At halftime here, Arvada West only leading the Eagles 6-0 here. Want to give a quick shout out to this roster of Golden Eagles, by the way. Number 1, Riley Rivera. Number 2, Quinn McCall. Number 3, Liana Rivera. Number 5, Emily Wilms. Number 6, Lindsay Dondero. Number 7, Chase Thompson. Number 10, Madison Jones. 11, Ajitha Kanojo. 12, Serena Ryder. 13, Emily Savinsky. 14, Liliana Tarud. 15, Arabella Hebenik. 16, Kylie Page. 17, Braylon Looney. 18, Sophia Clues. 20, Amanda Swartz. And 24, Grace Roscoe here. But anyways, let's go ahead and talk about the second half here. Mountain Vista getting to start the second half, and they pass it left, and number 17 for this squad shows very strong hands over the middle, catching in very tough traffic. That's the sophomore Braylon Looney here on that catch. However, after a pass right, they pass over the middle, and that is going to be a Sarah Walker interception for Arvada West, number 21, and gets the Cats starting around the 15-yard line after a big return. They run a read option left that picks up a few yards, and then on the very next play, the quarterback rolls left and then zips in a pass right by the boundary to number 2 for the score, but the PAT is no good. Now, Mountain Vista trying to respond here. They get a quick gain right and then a pass middle to number 15, Arabella Hebenik, the senior here, and an impeding the runner penalty gains a few extra yards. They throw a dump off right that is quickly flag pulled by Alyssa Alberts, number 3 of Arvada West, and then a throw is intercepted by Sarah Walker once again and returned almost right to midfield. Arvada West here with another turnover trying to capitalize, passes it to number 10, Aubrey Cespedes. Oh my goodness, Aubrey, I am so sorry that I am absolutely annihilating this name. So let's just stick with number 10 or Aubrey here. Either way, she catches the slant left here. Then on the very next play, 18 throws a dot and times it perfectly, but the pass cannot quite be brought in, so it is incomplete. They then throw a crosser here to number 28, who is Alex Antil here, and that picks up a solid amount. And then a pass left for a nice gain brings up 4th and 8. Then an absolute dot is thrown right to number 5 for the score. Molly Shellpepper here for the touchdown. And a penalty pushes back the PAT from the 10, which is no good. But Arvada West still leads 18-0 with time dwindling here. Mountain Vista trying to get something going, only gets a yard on their first play, and then an incompletion predates a slant to number 13, Emily Savinsky, that takes us to the 2-minute warning. They throw a quick pass right and call a timeout here that, gets them for a bit of a gain here. That pass to 13, by the way, was for a first down. Then they pass it left to number 1, Riley Rivera, the junior, who bobbles it but brings it inside the 5. 2 dump-offs later and a false start pushes them back, but they pass it up high to Braylon Looney, the sophomore receiver, who reaches up and after catching the ball does something that you couldn't do in tackle football, and it's so unorthodox. I was just completely appalled and loved it here. Number 17, Braylon, she reaches with the ball up top over her head on the catch, reaches behind her head and extends the nose of the football past the white for the touchdown here to break the plane. The conversion is no good, and that will unfortunately end Mountain Vista's season here, as both teams have now been eliminated, and Arvada West has punched their ticket to the semifinal here with an 18-6 win over Mountain Vista.
Coach V here, and I'm here to recap that round 2 matchup of Ralston Valley Navy versus Chatfield Varsity. Pretty sure this is the varsity team that I want to say won it last year. So there you go there. And then Ralston Valley, obviously a first-year program. The winner of this game would go ahead and play Cherry Creek in the semifinals. Before I go ahead and hop into this one, let me just set the stage for this one. Chatfield in round 1 winning 36-6 over Green Mountain to get here. And then you have Ralston Valley winning a close one against Columbine 9-0, it looks like, to get here as well. Like I said, the winner of this one would go ahead and play Cherry Creek in the semifinals for a chance at a state championship spot. But let's hop into this one. Chatfield starts with the ball here, and it starts with a toss to number 8. That will be, let me just make sure I have this here. That will be Caitlin Dennis, a junior here, who gets a long gain of about 10. But following that on second down, a huge sack by senior Jill Bungard here of Ralston Valley would bring up third down. On third down, they would then go ahead and run an end around back to number 8, Caitlin Dennis, but she would not be able to get the first down. So it's fourth down here, and on fourth down, they go ahead and throw the slant. Their quarterback, junior Alexis McLennan, would find Audrey Hubble on that slant, and that would go for a first down. Following that, they would toss it. That would go nowhere. And then on second down, another sack here. The second one of the game by the same player. That's Jill Bungard. Would go ahead and move them back a bit. On third down, they would toss it. It would basically go nowhere. And so it's fourth down again. This Ralston Valley defense playing very well against the run. And then on fourth down, their quarterback, Alexis McLennan, throws it deep into the end zone. And this is basically just a Hail Mary, a jump ball. And I couldn't quite see where it was because there were so many bodies cluttered together there. But a Chatfield receiver comes up and gets an amazing catch for the touchdown to take the 6-0 lead. This is about a 30-ish yard throw here. And so that's a huge gain. And obviously a huge play for Chatfield. PAT is no good, but a lead is a lead regardless. Now Ralston Valley, they take over number 26. That's Zoe Zoll, the junior at quarterback. She goes ahead and runs right for a couple downs. On second down, she then throws it pretty quickly here. A little quick hitter to Addie Cadwell, the senior, who goes for a couple yards. On third down, Zoll will then go ahead and find Gianna Tate on the drag route. That would give them a solid couple yards, but still fourth down here. And on fourth down, Zoll here throws a perfect corner route to Addie Cadwell. That would give them a first down and also put them in the red zone. Didn't score, obviously, but would be a huge play to put them in the red zone. After a drop on second down, she goes ahead and checks it down. It looks like to her center here. That is Carly No, who gives them a couple more yards. Brings up third down, though, in 26. Zoll, she throws it to Gianna Tate. It looks like on a drag route, who toe taps this one in regardless and ties it at 6-6. Now, a clutch pass deflection would keep it tied here as Chatfield would go ahead and get the ball. But Chatfield, unfortunately, not able to get too much here. They did throw the ball here a couple times and had a couple end rounds and double reverses, but it just goes nowhere. And so Ralston Valley takes over. Ralston Valley here, they go ahead and hand it off to Addie Cadwell. She gets them a couple. On second down, it's a quick hitter to number 15, Cadwell again. That goes for 5. Third down, there's a false start, so that moves them back. And on third down, it looks like it's a design quarterback run, but it goes nowhere, bringing up fourth. And on fourth, Zoe Zoll here goes ahead and throws it to Addie Cadwell, who skies for this one. A great catch that gives them a first down on a basically 30-yard play here. Now, on first down, they fumble the handoff, so the ball's just dead there. But on second down, they go ahead and find Gianna Tate on the drag route. She goes for a couple. On third down, right before, third down, there's a 2-minute warning. But on third down, it is a diving sack by a Chatfield defender. Couldn't see who it was, but a crazy sack here to force fourth. And on fourth down, they go ahead and throw it to Elena Roboff, I want to say. But unfortunately, she is not in the end zone, and her flag is pulled pretty immediately, so she's down on the 2, and that's a turnover on downs. Now, Chatfield tries to get something going here, but their quarterback is sacked by Addie Cadwell, and so that basically gets it to half, as it is tied at this point, 6-6. Now, in the second half, Ralston Valley starts with the ball, and it starts with a curl to Cadwell that goes for 5. Following that, on second down, it's a dropped interception. Probably should have been caught, but it is what it is. Still an incompletion. Third down, they go ahead. Zoll goes ahead and throws the drag to junior Izzy Boosie, I want to say here, who goes not for a lot, just maybe 1 or 2 yards here. So that brings up fourth down. And on fourth, they throw the wheel route to Cadwell, and it's caught, but a great pull stops her way short here. And so that's a turnover on downs. Now, after an early incompletion for Chatfield, and a drop, I would say, they go ahead and move up a couple yards, because on that second down play, there was a pass interference. So I think that is worth saying there. Following that, there's a scramble left by 13 here, I want to say, of Chatfield. That would be, or sorry, not 13. That would be number 12, their quarterback here, Alexis McLennan, who gets a couple yards there. And then she goes ahead and throws towards the sideline. And this is a great catch by the receiver, by the way, junior Elena Alvarez, making a good catch here. And so that brings up third down. By the way, that scramble left by their quarterback gave them a first down. I don't know if I said that. But anyways, third down here. And speaking of their quarterback, Alexis McLennan goes ahead and checks it down to number 11, Audrey Hubble, the senior, who falls into the end zone and gives them the 12-6 lead. And she's pretty excited as she spikes this ball. And I'm pretty sure that's an unsportsmanlike flag that comes out for that, which pushes them all the way back. And the PAT is no good, obviously, as their quarterback tries to scramble for this. She wasn't going to get it. They were way too far for that. And so here we go. Chatfield has the lead, 12-6, but Ralston Valley is moving. Number 26, their quarterback, Zoe Zoll, scrambles for about 15. On second down, it's a botched handoff, so automatically brings up third down. Following that, it's a quick little check down to Carly No, which goes nowhere. So that brings up fourth down, but no worries on fourth down. Zoll finds her favorite target here, or one of her favorite targets, Gianna Tate, who goes ahead and gives them a first down on a drag route. Is almost stopped short, but is able to just get across there. Then they go ahead and hand it off to Addie Cadwell. That goes for a couple on second down, 26. Then drops back and fires to a wide open Gianna Tate. A mistake in the coverage. She doesn't quite score here. So she's down on the 1. But that's a huge play to put them up there. Then there's a drop snap, so that brings up third down. And on third, Zoe Zoll goes ahead and throws the drag route. That goes to Addie Cadwell and ties this game at 12-12. Now, on the extra point, they go ahead and roll out Zoe Zoll right here, and she throws it to Gianna Tate here, who toe taps this one in and gives them a nice 13-12 lead. Now Chatfield looking to respond back, now down here late in this game. They go ahead and hand it off to Ada Lubecki, I want to say. I could be saying that wrong, but she gets them a couple yards. But then following that on second down, there's a huge sack for Ralston Valley. Wasn't quite able to see who it was, but that does put them back quite a bit here, bringing up a tough third down. But on third down, they go ahead and throw it here, and it's a great catch to put them close to midfield. Following that, fourth down here, it looks like it is thrown, but the ball is deflected. A great play by the Ralston Valley defender who is near that sideline there. And so Ralston Valley, they get the ball back, but just a bad mistake here. They throw it, and this one is intercepted by Kaylin Mant here, the senior, who almost returns it to the house, but she is down on the 1. Doesn't matter, though, as Alexis McLennan would go ahead and rifle a pass over the middle to her receiver. That is fellow junior Caitlin Dennis here for a touchdown as Chatfield takes the 18-13 lead. Now on the PAT, there's a great pass deflection here by Ralston Valley to keep it right there at 18-13. And so here we go. Ralston Valley with the ball, a chance to potentially upset the defending state champ. Zoe Zoll, the junior quarterback, drops back, and then she decides to scramble. She goes for about 10 yards. Following that, she rolls out right and throws it to Gianna Tate here, who is stopped just short of the first down. So that brings up third here. Following that, after some patient waiting by Zoll, she eventually finds Jill Bungard here for a nice gain over the middle for a first down. Ralston Valley goes ahead and takes a timeout at this point after they get the first down with about under a minute left here in this game. On first down here, following the timeout, Zoll scrambles right, and she gets a solid gain. Now, the clock at this point is running as she doesn't go out of bounds or anything, and so they go hurry up. Following that, they go ahead and roll out Zoll right. She throws it to Gianna Tate, who is stopped short here, so that's third down. That was third down. Now it's fourth down here, and they go ahead and throw it, and it's incomplete, but there is a pass interference call, which will give Ralston Valley another chance. I don't know if that was the greatest call. I'm going to be honest. She gets bumped. I'm not going to lie. She does get bumped a bit here just before, and so kind of a tough call, but that will go ahead and give Ralston Valley another chance. And so here we go. Fourth down again. They go ahead and throw it, and it is incomplete. But this time it is definitely a pass interference call. And they call it again here as the corner just gets a little bit too handsy tugging on her there. And so that gives them another chance. Third time on fourth down in a row. They go ahead, and this time, instead of rolling Zoe Zoll right, they roll her left, and this time she finds Gianna Tate on the drag for the touchdown to give them the 19-18 lead, as it is electric here in the Broncos training facility. And on the extra point, Ralston Valley decides to just take a knee as they go ahead and upset Chatfield and will play Cherry Creek in the semifinals. Just a crazy game here for Ralston Valley and Chatfield. I mean, both teams played great, and there are a lot of fireworks here at the end, but it just came down to this stop. And I mean, you got to think about all those PIs. I would say the first one was it could have been questionable, right? I could see it that way, but also there was a little bit of contact there, so I get it. And then the second one was definitely PI. And so you got to think, man, if they just didn't have one of those, they would have won the game, right? They would have won the game, but Ralston Valley perseveres here and they survive as the first year program goes to the semifinals to play Cherry Creek here in this 2023 state finals tournament.
Obviously, you want a trainer who can make you stronger and faster with the work you put in, but what about a trainer who can help you rehab and recover like the pros? Look no further than Junkyard Training, that not only offers specific strength and speed training, but also offers a plethora of recovery and rehab techniques like cryo, cupping, recovery boots, and so much more. Learn more today by visiting junkyardtraining.net or call 303-521-7594. Once again, visit junkyardtraining.net or call 303-521-7594 and get started today.
What is going on, y'all? Gino here with the Playmakers Corner podcast, here to give y'all the recap on what happened in this Final Four matchup between Cherry Creek and Ralston Valley. We got an absolute classic in this Final Four game between these two teams. Ralston Valley came into this game with a shutout win over Columbine and a crazy last-second win against the reigning state champs in Chatfield Varsity. Creek was coming into this game with two not-so-close wins over Mountain Vista's JV squad, and then they beat Legend by a couple scores as well. Both of these teams were feeling great heading into this game, so let's go ahead and see who will be headed to the state championship. Creek started with the ball in this one and got the game going here with a scramble from their QB number 3 for a nice gain. She then found a crossing number 18 who takes it for a nice gain, almost for a first down. She then found her favorite target, number 10, for a first down. Number 3 then rolled left, throws it across her body, and finds number 5, who makes an amazing jumping grab with her arms fully extended, and she takes that one in for the early touchdown for Cherry Creek. The extra point got swatted down, so it's 6-0 Creek early on in the first half. Ralston Valley started off their drive with their QB, number 26, Zoe Zoll, scrambling for a decent gain. That was followed up with a dropped pass and a nice run from their main playmaker, number 15, Addie Cadwell, down near the first down. Zoll then hit her favorite passing target, number 4, Gianna Tate, on a crosser for a first down. Then Zoll found her center on a short pass for a decent gain. And then a few plays later, on fourth down, Zoll found a crossing Gianna Tate, who makes a nice sideline snag for a touchdown. Number 5 on Creek swatted down the PAT, so it's all knotted up here, 6-6, early on in the first half. Creek got another nice drive going here with a hook and ladder back to the QB, number 3, for a first down. Then a spot route to number 18 for a decent gain. Number 3, Haley Rothert, got a huge stop on a QB scramble near the end zone to prevent a touchdown. And then Creek tried a short pass to number 13 after that, but she's also stopped near the end zone. Then on fourth down here, number 4, Gianna Tate, picks it off in the end zone for a huge interception for Ralston Valley. She has the only Ralston touchdown and that interception, so it is a huge half for her so far. Ralston Valley would put together a solid drive, getting down near the end zone, but they would be unable to score despite being right in front of the end zone. So we are going into the half with this game knotted up at 6 apiece. Ralston had a chance there to go up a score and then score again since they got the ball to start the second half, but instead this one stays tied. Ralston would turn it over on downs here to start the half after Cherry Creek nearly picks off a deep fourth down pass. So Ralston has now blown 2 straight opportunities to get into the lead here. Creek got rolling here as number 3 finds a wide open number 2 for a nice gain. And then number 3 found number 5, who makes an amazing catch on third down to give Creek the first. A couple of plays later, Creek's top receiver, number 10, makes an insane jumping catch, and then she reaches out for a Cherry Creek touchdown. It is now 12-6 Creek after the failed PAT. Ralston would start their drive off with the usual Zozal run on first down, and that was followed up with a short crosser to number 4, who takes it for a few yards, but a holding call on Ralston cancels that play out. Creek then nearly picks off a pass on third down, and then a pass to Addie Cadwell on fourth down nearly gets them the first, but it is unfortunately another turnover on downs for Ralston Valley, with the clock dwindling down here in the second half. Creek now has a chance here to put this game away. They inch their way for a first down after a couple of incomplete passes and runs from their QB number 3. Number 3 continued to scramble after they got the first down with some nice cuts for a nice gain of 10 yards. And then she hit number 13, who catches it but is stopped by number 5, Jill Bundegard, before she can score. Number 10, Kate Stecker, batted down the pass on the next play to force 4th and goal. On 4th down, with an opportunity to put this game away, number 3 finds number 23, who makes an amazing catch near the end zone, but she is just short, and that forces an absolutely clutch turnover on downs to give Ralston Valley yet another chance at staying in this game. Ralston had just enough time to try and put together a scoring drive. Let's see how they did. They followed up an incomplete pass on first down with a nice gain as Zoe Zoll rolls to her left and finds a crossing Gianna Tate for a nice catch and run. Zoll then scrambles again for a solid gain to make it 4th down. On 4th down, Zoll clutches up here as she hits Addie Cadwell for a huge first down for Ralston Valley. A player was hurt on that play, so the Ralston coach came out on the field for a conference, but the coach isn't allowed on the field for injury timeouts, so the refs blow the whistle, and that will charge Ralston Valley with a timeout. Ralston then hands it off to Cadwell for a short gain, and then Zozal hits Gianna Tate for a nice gain down near the end zone. They run the same play to the right this time, and Zoll hits Tate again for the touchdown, but Gianna Tate is ruled out of bounds to make it 4th down near the goal line. On 4th down, on what could potentially be the last play of the season for Ralston Valley, Zozal takes the snap, rolls to her left, finds Gianna Tate, Tate catches it, dives for the end zone, and she's in! Ralston scores the last-second touchdown and sends this semifinal to OT after they didn't score on the PAT. Absolute chaos going on in this game. Now let's check out how overtime did in this Final Four matchup. Who will be going to the state championship? Cherry Creek started with the ball in OT. They started off with a pass to number 13 for no gain, but they would get a huge passing touchdown the next play to put them up 18-12. They scored the crucial PAT as well, and that puts them up 19-12 here in OT, and Ralston will get a chance to answer. Ralston got right to business as they run a hook and ladder to Addie Cadwell, who takes that one in for the touchdown, and that makes it 19-18. They need this PAT to keep the game going. Zoll drops back the pass, scans, looks for a receiver over the middle, lets go, and it is picked off by number 10, and that interception will send Cherry Creek to their first ever appearance in the girls flag football state championship game. What a crazy way to keep their season alive as the crowd and the players and the coaches jump around together, and they simply can't believe what they just saw. Such a tough way for Ralston to end their season, especially considering how close they were to scoring to end the first half. It was still an extremely successful season for them and tournament nonetheless, so congratulations to them for a great season and best of luck to their seniors in whatever it is that they are pursuing next. And that wraps up my recaps for this tournament, so I'm going to pass this mic off to Kodey, who's got that state championship game covered for y'all. Thanks for listening, and I will catch y'all later.
And thank you, Gino and Coach V, for all of your recaps here. Can't wait to talk about your thoughts at the end of this episode, but we still got 2 more games to talk about. So if you did not just hear Gino, let us know that Cherry Creek awaits the winner of my football game here over here on Field 1, where I have Pomona versus Arvada West. And just as a reminder to kind of set the stage on how they got here, I obviously have been covering Arvada West throughout this entire tournament. Their 28-6 win over Chatfield V2 in round 1. Their 18-6 win over Mountain Vista here in round 2. And they stay here on Field 1, awaiting Pomona, who beat Chaparral 20-12 in kind of a close game, and then throttles Valor 30-7. So Arvada West, even though they won 18-6, that game was pretty close, I would say, from Mountain Vista's defensive perspective here, for coming up with some big stops. But Pomona blowing out Valor, and they are feeling themselves coming into this game. How will that swag carry over here? And we see early here, Arvada West, they are just in that zone. They are in that rhythm here as they pass it to number 5 for a pretty good chunk of yards, that number 5 being Molly Shelpepper here for that initial gain of the game. Then the quarterback, Sailor here, lobs right into cover 2, but 19 for Pomona here. Anna Teagan, the senior, breaks up a pass. It's great coverage and great anticipation here, knowing what Sailor is looking for on this dial-up. Now, on the next play, they do just get a great pass from Sailor Swanson here over the middle, over the linebackers, but in front of the safeties to number 2 here for the first down. Then, with the focus being so much on number 21, that opens up other opportunities. And Aubrey Cespedes here benefits as number 18 uncorks a deep touchdown pass down the left sideline to 10 for the touchdown. On the conversion, they roll out left and throw a tight pass towards the pylon for the conversion to be good to number 2, Santana Pena here. Now, Pomona, it is their turn to respond here, and they come out with an incomplete pass before the quarterback here keeps left for a short gain. On the very next play, though, Lindley McReynolds, number 4 for Arvada West, just being a huge game wrecker all tournament long, gets a sack here. And on 4th down, they throw a deep pass left here, and that is going to be picked off by number 18. Yes, you've heard it before. Sailor Swanson, both on offense and defense, making big plays and giving Arvada West the ball back. The Cats come out with a quick pass right that picks up a first down, but after a drop, they have to settle things down here. They pass right again, but after that, there's 2 incompletions, including a batted pass by one of the Pomona Panther linebackers, and that will force a turnover on downs. Now, the Panthers with the ball here have a pass over the middle to Valenzuela Aaliyah. Oh my goodness, I just realized I'm reading these backwards because their first name is in the right column. So, pardon me, Aaliyah Valenzuela on the reception for Pomona here. That is a sophomore on the catch. And then there's a short gain, and then pressure from Arvada West forces the quarterback to roll out right. On 4th down, there is a pass attempt here, but that is going to hit the ground and force a turnover on downs. Arvada West, starting on their own 5 here, get a false start right off the get-go, which is not the best look here and puts them in a really tough position with their backs against the wall. But they do pass it to number 5, who gets to about the 14-yard line. They then throw a deep pass left to number 2, Pena again, who puts the ball just inside the 5-yard line going the other way. So just flipping fields almost entirely. There's then a first down pass in tight coverage. And after a tough couple of plays here, eventually the Cats dial up a roll out right where they find number 5 for the score. Shout out here to Molly, who hesitates on this route, on an out route, kind of like starts off in that sprint stance, then stands straight up to kind of lull the defender into thinking that she might do a cut, and then immediately just breaks into the sprint again to score and create that separation. The conversion is no good, and Arvada West is up 13-0 at half. Now, A West does start with the football here, interestingly enough, and they have a pass left to number 2 here. After a swing to 28 sprints ahead, that is Alex Antill, for those who may have forgot, they pass it to number 5, who moves the chains. Number 18, Sailor, keeps herself and snatches a pair of ankles so hard that the defender falls into her and it draws a flag. It was wild. On the next play, they pass it right to 5, and then they pass it to 21, Sarah Walker, who boxes out the defender and sets up 4th and 7. On 4th and 7, Sailor rolls out right, but then plants and looks back to number 2 and lobs it just perfectly over the defender to the back left corner of the end zone for the score here. That is Santana Pena here on the score. And then they pass it to number 23, Hayden Briscoe, for the conversion on the play and go up 19-0 here. Pomona, on the very first pass play, throws an incompletion before the very next play is picked off by number 31, Danica Rodriguez, for Arvada West, and setting them up inside the 10-yard line. Arvada West hands off to 28, who scores the touchdown. That is Alex Antill, and they start chanting on the field, "She's a freshman," which, okay, in all of my games of covering, I ain't never seen the players on the field start the freshman chant. I mean, I understand that the stands probably aren't going to start that with like the average fan, most of the fans being, parents or family and stuff. But oh my gosh, this was so cold as they just go up and continue to pour it on here for this lead. Oh my gosh, Gideon and I looked at each other in shock and disbelief that the chant had started on the field. Now, Pomona here, will they take it personally and respond? Well, you would think so. With the very first play, the quarterback keeps left and picks up about 18 yards. They then throw a quick pass to Janessa Mondragon here, the senior, who makes a defender miss and picks up a first down. But an incomplete pass and a handoff that is swallowed up by the defense forces a 3rd and long. Quarterback keeps and almost makes it, but gets her flag pulled, and on 4th down, they don't get enough and turnover on downs. Arvada West here, they call a quick play to the right and then a quick pass right in front, but 17 of Pomona, Rachel Lang, does come up with a stellar flag pull. This brings up the 2-minute warning, and number 15, Kendra Ritzman of Pomona, has a tackle for loss. They call a delay of game here, and then a play-action pass, and that will be a turnover on downs. Now, Pomona, they have the last chance here to try and score, and they pass it over the middle to number 8, who also gets held. So, Aaliyah Valenzuela picking up a decent chunk here, but a false start pushes it back. They try throwing it to Aaliyah again, who picks up a first, but is a little wobbly getting up. And after a drop and an incompletion, that will do it for the buzzer here. Arvada West blanks Pomona in the semifinal, kind of in stunning fashion, honestly, 27-0 to punch their ticket to state for the 2nd year in a row. Pomona, they have, a decent amount of seniors graduating. It looks about 8 of this total roster is going to be seniors here, and that's out of a roster that is 16 or 18 big. So that's pretty big, but their quarterback is a sophomore who played very, very well in this game. Their leading receiver of this game, Aaliyah Valenzuela, is a sophomore. Alora Martinez is a sophomore. Juliet Cordova is a sophomore. Luana Cordova, it looks like maybe they have some siblings here. So there's still plenty of youth to build off of in the coming years for Pomona, and I think that there's a lot to be happy about. Obviously, you don't like to go out that way in the semis here, but this is an experienced team here in Arvada West who really didn't show a lot of vulnerability to this point in the tournament and didn't show it at this point either. So let's go ahead and see how they do against Cherry Creek in the final right after a word from our sponsor. So do you want to know what the best kept secret in running back training is? It's Madskillz RB1 Training. Coach Voss is flipping the script and leveling up running back training in Colorado by implementing his proven, nationally recognized system of training. Don't be fooled by the name. Quarterbacks and receivers become fundamentally sound juke artists as well with his training. It's evident the athletes he trains love him. Each progressive training session arms the athlete with a new skill set that prepares them to be shifty, powerful, and elusive. Parents love Coach Vaz because with his training, they receive free college recruiting tips, no contracts, and no drama. Message him on Instagram at Madskillz _RB1 Training or at Coach Cut Creator on Twitter X for more information. Offseason runs from January through July, so get in the cut and get some mad skills this offseason. And now it is time for the moment you all have been waiting for. It is the championship game between Cherry Creek and Arvada West here. Two schools that have played each other in a lot of very significant contests, including this one being the second ever Colorado Girls Flag Football State Championship here. And poor Simon, as well as Gino, who recapped games, I realized that I have the Cherry Creek roster from the coach who airdropped it to me at regionals last week. I did not realize that the roster that I uploaded from the Broncos that was submitted did not have the numbers with the names. So I'm going to make them look. I'm going to do my co-host bad. I'm going to do them dirty and just use the roster that I have with names and numbers here. And and then obviously I have the Arvada West one. But without further dilly-dallying, let's go ahead and get into it and talk about Cherry Creek's start to this game, where they come out with two quick runs and an incomplete pass that sets up 4th and long. They throw a hook and ladder, but is short of the sticks and turn over on downs. Now, Arvada West starts with the ball, and they have a pass right for a gain, and then another pass to number 5 for those who have forgot. That is Molly Shalpaper here. Now, on 3rd and 6, they pass right to 21, Sarah Walker, for a first down. Sailor Swanson, number 18, then uncorks a deep pass left to Sarah Walker for the touchdown, and the conversion here to number 5 is good. Creek, they call a swing right here to number 13. That is Mia Petrina here, who picks up a few yards. But on their very next play, they pass it over the middle, and that play is going to be intercepted by Sailor Swanson, number 18 here, doing it on both sides of the ball. And now Arvada West is on the 6-yard line going in. They roll left, but this time the Creek defense responds. Lexi Robar, number 21, picks up the sack here. Now, a handoff to 28 is met at the line of scrimmage by number 10, Sophia Ball, and now the Wildcats here are set up on 3rd down. On this 3rd down play, they do call a rollout right that is spun in and zipped in, I should say, to number 5. The ball has some spin on it, and that is good for a score here. Then, on the next play, Sailor here is held, but completes the pass to number 2 anyway. That is Santana Pena, and the conversion is good. It is 14-0, all Arvada West to start. Now, Creek here, they start off with a quick pass to 10, Sophia Ball here to get the ball rolling, and then another quick one to 13, that is Mia Petrina here. Now, they do pass it down the seam to 10 here, Sophia Ball in tight coverage, who corrals it in with one hand and flips the field in Cherry Creek's favor. Now, on the other side of midfield for the first time this game, they go ahead and get a short gain before an incompletion sets up 3rd down where they call a swing right to 13. On 4th down, they do try and get a deep pass, but that is deflected and a turnover on downs. Now, Arvada West, they open up with a short pass left before a deep pass left to number 10 here. Aubrey Cespedes scores for Arvada West, and a double pass to 21 and then 5 gets the conversion here. Arvada West just running away with this game prior to half. Creek trying to get something on the board before it is halftime. They call a quick pass left to 13, and then they pass it over the middle to number 1, Alex Gribb, who picks up a few yards. 18 jumps the pass for Arvada West on the very next play, but can't quite bring it in and force an incompletion. On 4th down, the quarterback tries to lead the receiver, but it's just a little too far, and it's incomplete and a turnover on downs. Now, Arvada West, they only get off 2 plays before the half ends. That's an incompletion over the middle, and then a Sailor Swanson run that picks up a chunk of yards, but unfortunately they run out of time here. But they will get the ball to start the second half. Now, after an incompletion to start the game, to start the second half, I should say, Cherry Creek does come with great pressure towards Arvada West, and the quarterback throws an ill-fated throw that is intercepted by number 10, Sophia Ball. Now, Creek is inside of the red zone, and number 3, Addie Beck, does keep the football here for a small gain here to the 6-yard line. They then call a swing pass right to 13, who gets to the 2-yard line, before a pass on the next play is broken up in the middle by Sailor Swanson, number 18. They then pass right to number 5, who narrowly makes a catch in the end zone here. That is Molly Dorhage here with an insane catch to keep Cherry Creek in the game here. And then the conversion is a little too high and incomplete. Now, Arvada West, they just finally allowed a score. This is their first score in 3 halves of football with that shutout in the semis here. How will they respond? Well, they respond by Cherry Creek getting a very quick flagpole and keeping a gain to the minimum. But number 18 keeps left, and after a flag is thrown, they also get pushed forward a little bit more. On the next play, they roll right and pass over the middle to 21, who sets up a very manageable 4th and 4. And on 4th down, they just do a short pass right to number 5. Easy for the first down, but even easier, or so it seems, is her sprinting up the sideline, cutting inside, and getting all the way inside the 5-yard line on the other side of midfield. Now, with the first down pass being incomplete and the second pass being knocked away, it is now 3rd down and inside the 5-yard line, but a tale as old as time, or at least the oldest tale and greatest connection here in Colorado football. 18-21, Sailor to Sarah here scores the touchdown, Swanson to Walker, however you want to call it. The conversion is no good, but Arvada West is comfortably ahead 27-6 here. Now, Creek, they do a run over the middle and then a pass over the middle that gets near the first down. Before another pass over the middle to 2 here, Samantha Gruich, I want to say is how you say that, picks up a first down. They call a shovel pass on the first play past midfield here that's incomplete. And then 31 here is in one-on-one coverage. That is 31 of Arvada West here, is in one-on-one coverage with number 10. Number 10, the jump ball specialist here for Creek. And the quarterback throws it up, but Danica Rodriguez-Gonzalez does not back down and gets the pass deflection, even in a situation that definitely looks like a mismatch. On the very next play here, they get a huge play from number 4, Lindley McReynolds, who gets a sack just a millisecond before a pass would have scored. This is a great call by the referees, paying very close attention to that flagpole, and just monumental timing by Lindley here to force that sack as opposed to a touchdown. Now, they do pass it over the middle to number 2, who doesn't break the plane, but the Arvada West defense does break this drive and force a turnover on downs. Arvada West, they call a quarterback keeper that picks up a few before passing right for a small gain. They call a deep shot, but that is incomplete. However, a pass interference gives the Cats a first down with 2 minutes left in the game. They hand off to number 28, and if you've been paying attention to this episode, you might know how this goes. Alexandria Antill here weaves in and out of defenders, making like 4 of them miss on her way to a touchdown. And after the conversion to 18, Sailor, this time catching the conversion, is complete. Arvada West is in commanding lead 33-6, and you already know when 28 scores, they start that chant, "She's a freshman, ba, 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 ba. She's a freshman." And it is just going nuts on the field. The vibes are at an all-time high, and I just want to say the vibes of this tournament were an absolute blast here. And Creek, trying to make this game look a bit more respectable here, dial up a deep shot to number 5, Molly Dorhage here, who does flip the fields. They then pass it to number 2 here, Samantha Gruich, who gets them all the way to the 1-yard line. And then they strike number 10, Sophia Ball, for the touchdown. On the conversion, 3 is rushed and gets to the edge. That's Addie Beck getting the conversion, making it 33-13. And just before I go ahead and say the final drive of this game, let me go ahead and go over this Creek roster so that you can reference this for Simon and Gino's segments revolving around Creek, where Alex Gribb is 1, Samantha Gruich is 2, Addie Beck 3, number 4, Megan Chen, number 5, Molly Dorhage, number 7, Cameron Kelly, number 10, Sophia Ball, 11, Sarah Reynolds, 13, Mia Patrina, 16, Kimia Kinney, 17, Abigail Douglas, 18, Ashley Sands, 19, Isabel Glasspool, 21, Lexi Robar, 22, Alexa Talmadge, 23, Giselle Boker, 27, Brooklyn Feeder, and 28, Ada Kleck. Congratulations to all of those Bruins here on running up here in state as Arvada West gets the ball and they simply kneel to claim the championship for themselves. Arvada West, after just being short last year and being the runner-ups, they avenge last year's loss with a win here at state. They hoist the trophy and bring home a championship for Arvada West here, who has been in a bit of a drought here. And so the girls flag football team breaks any losing streaks of the Wildcats and brings home the hardware here for Arvada West, a school that, consistently has lots of great talent, but finally gets the break here. And through great performances through this entire team, all the way from Sarah Walker, number 21, just being an absolute beast. And whether she was catching the ball or drawing double or triple coverage against the likes of Mountain Vista and Pomona and opening up opportunities for her teammates like Santana Pena to make big plays, or Aubrey Cespedes to make big plays, or Molly Shellpepper, who is basically unstoppable in the red zone here. This entire team was just clicking. Danica Rodriguez-Gonzalez had a great defensive showing, as did Sarah on the defensive side of the football, and Lindley McReynolds was bringing the pass rush all game. This team is basically, half of this team is juniors, and then they have 4 sophomores, as well as, obviously, Alexandria Antil, or Alex Antil. She's the freshman here for A West. But the MVP of this tournament here for Playmakers Corner is going to be number 18, Sailor Swanson, who just put it together on all sides of the football here. And really talking to all the guys about the big difference between Arvada West this year versus last year, one thing that I noticed is that the other playmakers stepped up, because there was a time where 21 Sarah Walker was double teamed last year, and that would really throw a wrench in what Arvada West was able to do. So these other receivers stepping up and being able to make plays and find ways to get open and just exploit these defenses was awesome. But somebody's got to be able to deliver those passes, and Sailor's mechanics took a huge stride forward, was one thing that Coach V noted. And I just think that, obviously that combined with her timing and just being able to put a little bit more mustard on her throws and stretch the field super vertically and just connect on these huge deep passes down the sideline, it was really hard to defend this Arvada West team that would easily nickel and dime you down the field for what it's worth with quick passes, quick rhythm. And shout out to Coach Mario, Coach Rio there for Arvada West for just putting together a well-oiled machine and representing Colorado football in one of the best possible ways, honestly. I'm very excited for Colorado flag football, but I do just have to set aside time to mention that Sailor got so much better as a quarterback. She got so much better as a defender, as noted by her multiple interceptions, her big flag pulls, and her, ability to break on passes and, get deflections, even if she wasn't getting interceptions, and bait quarterbacks the way that, maybe she would even try and fool herself. Just understanding both sides of the field like that and, capitalizing off of all the opportunities that she was given and being patient and taking what the defense gave her while also stretching the field for those big plays. She just put on a fantastic tournament and is our most valuable playmaker for this tournament here, this 2023 girls flag football state tournament here in Colorado. So shout out to Sailor Swanson here, and shout out to all of Arvada West and Coach Rio, obviously, and congratulations on winning that state title. Now, with everything that we've covered here, we do have some final thoughts to go over for this 2023 girls flag football season here in Colorado that had over 70 total teams participate in it, and I think grew even more and had way more people in the stands than last year, as well as just more energy awesome regionals, and it felt like higher stakes this year for state with all of the teams that participated. But I'm going to kind of just interweave my thoughts here through the others here and then kind of wrap it up for us. But let's go ahead and start with Coach V here, who I think makes an excellent opening argument here. So let's go ahead and get that hashtag sanction CO flag football going on Instagram, Twitter. Spread it, tag Chassa, put pressure on these people to make sure that this sport gets started. And hey, Chassa, if you're listening, I am willing to be the league coordinator for girls flag football. It's what I do for a living at Highlands Ranch. I am the sports coordinator. I run leagues with 43 teams. I'm going to run a league that has almost 100 teams starting here in just a couple of weeks, as well as I've done adult sports. I'm going to start doing, volleyball and stuff. I've made schedules. I've coordinated with coaches and got volunteers and athletes wavered and yada, yada, yada. You name it, I've done it. I can go ahead and help out with that if you're looking for somebody to fill that position. So don't use lack of help as an excuse here. Let's get this thing sanctioned. Hashtag sanction CO flag football here. And all of that just to interrupt Simon's point here where Coach V opens up with, quote, "First things first, Chassa is stupid if they don't sanction girls high school flag football this spring. This is the fastest growing sport in Colorado and arguably the fastest growing state in girls high school flag football in the country. It's time to make it official." I'm going to end the quote there and just agree with him that this rise has been absolutely absurd, I would say, especially compared to other states. I mean, we have more than Arizona that's already sanctioned. We have like triple or quadruple the amount of teams that Arizona has, and it was sanctioned last year. And we're in our second year here. Come on, Chassa, let's get the ball rolling on this. And let's get some of these Colorado athletes to the Olympics here, since flag football has been announced as an Olympic sport for the 2028 Olympics hosted in Los Angeles. Get some of these Colorado athletes a chance to compete as Olympians here. We watch college girls flag football. We know the scale of play, and we understand that there are some players here who are that caliber and can play on the collegiate level and then even represent us nationally as well. Whew. All right. Back to Simon's point. Quote, "Second, it has been amazing being able to cover so many teams for so long this season. Shout out Arvada West, Chaparral, Mountain Vista JV, and Legend specifically for the great memories in the regular season, regionals, and at state, along with all the other great programs I got to see throughout the season. Next year is going to be even better with another year under the belts of many of these programs. This year, though, belonged to Arvada West. One loss in 2 seasons, 26-0 in the regular season, and becoming the state champs was a great feat to see. They were one of the first teams I ever covered last year, and so I loved seeing them get that first state championship this season. Shout out everyone over there, but specifically Coach Rio, Sailor Swanson, and Sarah Walker. I got a lot of respect for Coach Rio and how he gets his team ready. No doubt they'll be dangerous next year. As for Sailor and Sarah, the improvements in their game compared from last season to this season are phenomenal. They are the face of Colorado girls football and can easily play on the next level if they want. Next year is going to be even better, not only for them, but for the rest of the state," end quote. And I'm going to take this time to say, hey, Sailor, Sarah, we would love to invite you onto the show for interviews here. We will probably reach out to you anyway and try and get interviews set up either individually or with both of you at the same time. We've done stuff like that before, and you can go ahead and listen to our other interviews where we've interviewed other girls flag football players, women's flag football players, and, even our tackle football players. The format is pretty similar, and man, it would be really great to get some Colorado flag represented on our interview series. Also, shout out to the homie Josh Mode here. Stay tuned for We in That Mode to post an interview that Coach V had with Sailor and Swanson after a game where, Sarah may have mentioned that she was most excited to win this season, and boy, did they. Now, let's go ahead and cut back to the thoughts of the other fellas here and go to my guy Gideon here. Quote, "Man, this was a fun season. I was only able to make it to a few jamborees and tournaments, but this was still awesome. The energy in this sport is palpable, and I really hope that we start to see it north of Denver next year. Seeing teams like Fossil, Windsor, Loveland, and Longmont competing would be so cool. It is also good to see some teams from the Springs competing. Ellicott, Colorado Springs Christian, Coronado, and the Vanguard School are all welcome additions to this community. I will be calling Manitou's athletic director to tell him to refer any girls who may be interested to Coronado, but I hope it expands to Pine Creek, Discovery Canyon, or DCC, and Vista Ridge. Further, if flag becomes sanctioned, which it better, end quote, all caps, H has to sanction that stuff, return to the quote, this will provide a number of opportunity to hundreds of athletes across the state which were previously unavailable. I have made the recommendation to athletes from my alma mater, Manitou Springs, to look into joining the closest team, Coronado, because of the opportunities that this sport provides. Now, for the state tournament itself, I still think that Vanguard would have made it to the second round of this tournament if they'd made it that far. But I saw banger after banger in this one. They may not have been close games, but it was great watching Ralston Valley, Pomona, and of course Arvada West. Seeing Sarah Walker and Sailor Swanson in person again was great, and seeing them get revenge on their toughest game of the season in Pomona was a blast. Everyone showed out, and I feel really good about the Wildcats moving into next season. I met some amazing people, somehow including Justin Simmons, and this was a great year. Aside from some disorganization in how schedules are announced and where to find rosters, I don't see any downside to this epic season, end quote. First off, yeah, hey, shout out Justin Simmons. I asked him if there was anybody that he was rooting for, and he said no. I knew that, he couldn't really choose anyone, but I was kind of hoping that he had, a little bit to. I was hoping that he might have liked some of the athletes and whatnot, but it was still cool seeing him out there supporting, taking pictures with people, including Gideon there. So I'm glad Gideon got that post. Hey, he got to get that on the gram. That's a gram level photo. I don't know why it's not already up, or if it is, I maybe just didn't see it, and I'm gonna look like a boomer. But anyways, back to the actual girls flag football. I couldn't agree with Gideon more. I love to see it climb, and just the amount of schools that can participate, just because you don't need a ton for a team here. It's 7v7. So if you have a team of like 16, that's perfect, because you could either run some athletes both ways and then some as reserves or backups or something like that. Or, there are some teams that had multiple teams, Chatfield V1, V2. You also had Mountain Vista JV. You had Ralston Valley White, I want to say, is who was in my regional, and then this Ralston Valley, I want to say, was Navy. So Valor White, Valor Columbia maybe was I think they were going for that for a color or another name, but either way, a ton of teams had multiple teams, and, even a JV team made it. 2 Chatfield teams made it. There was a lot of talent on these squads here, and I think that it can only get bigger and better. Of course, Longmont would be a great city to have a program with those, 4 schools in there that are all doing their own thing and getting powered up. If we saw a Fairview team, a team that already runs spread in the tackle form of the game, seeing it in flag should be a very easy transition for this culture in school. And so I would love, love, love to see more teams and make it where Gideon doesn't have to drive down to Denver for every jamboree. I would love to see scores on max preps. I would love to see this sport sanctioned. Remember, #sanction CO flag football. Let's get this rolling. Keep the pressure up. Do not relent. Do not let it slip, because Texas just failed their vote. Could you imagine if Colorado had girls flag football sanctioned before Texas, the state where football is everything, and we beat them to it? I think that would be a huge step towards Colorado being taken more seriously as an overall football state, and I think that it's incredibly important as an opportunity driver for these athletes. Now, those are probably all of my thoughts on the tournament. Gino said that most of his thoughts were recapped at the end of games. Obviously, he congratulated those seniors. He talked about the paths to get there, and, this has come a long way from week 1, where I was out there at DPS and they had games going on, 4 or 5, 6 games at the same time, 5 or 6 games at the same time. It was absolutely nuts. Pandalirium, hard to keep track of. And we figured out the method later, but all those games were so exciting. It was so fun to see so many new faces and see the energy that the coaches were bringing, as well as the parents, and the teams themselves have so much energy and are just so chipper about this situation. It's awesome to see, and it makes me love the direction that Colorado's going, and I just hope that they maintain this insane amount of momentum here for girls flag football and keep the pressure up. Hashtag sanction CO flag football. And come on, Chassa, let's get her done and get this sport the coverage and these athletes the coverage that they deserve and need for the best possible scenario. And with all that being said, that's going to do it for this episode of Playmakers Corner. This is episode 305. Go ahead and listen to episode 304 yesterday for all of your tackle football updates. But this season has been an absolute blast to cover for flag football. And please, please, please find us on TikTok at Playmakers Corner, where we are posting all of the highlights to all of these games here. Maybe we'll make a big kit and caboodle post as well. But it's been so fun covering all of these. Follow us on there so you can see all the big plays that we talked about on this episode today. Now, to find us on other social medias as well, where we post episode covers as well as highlight reels and repost everything on our story and all kinds of stuff, go and find us on Instagram at Playmakers Corner, Twitter/X at Playmaker Corner, Facebook, Playmakers Corner. We also post our episodes to YouTube, so go and subscribe to us on there, where there's also going to be some shorts of flag football as well. And then we also have our episodes. If you don't like to use YouTube for listening to podcast episodes, you might be listening to us right now on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, or anywhere else that you listen to podcasts that is through our distributor. So thank you all so much for the support. Like, subscribe, follow all of those, turn on notifications for all of the latest news regarding Playmakers Corner, as we still have plenty of Colorado football season to go. We got awards, and show your support here for Colorado football and continue to help us push it. And if you like Colorado girls high school flag football, just wait until we are covering women's collegiate flag football in the spring. Thank you all so much, and see ya around.